Results vary.
If your water heater doesn't say Bradford White, you're missing out. Our products work harder, longer, and more efficiently. Every tank is manufactured right here in America using the finest components from around the world. Only available through trusted wholesale distributors and installed by pros, not DIY. We're professional grade from start to finish. When it comes to water heaters, leave it to the professionals. Bradford White, built to be the best.
Jim Cipriotti at Retire Ready Financial Group doesn't need Google to know you're worried about retirement. Between inflation, rising taxes, and the uncertainty about Social Security, he understands. That's why he offers a complimentary retirement second opinion. It's a no-obligation meeting for you to talk about your concerns about retirement. You want to know if you're going to be okay? Let's find out. 610-894-7415 or go online, retirereadyfg.com.
Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, NPN number 2083768.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Growing hostilities between the U.S. and Iran, with strikes from each side intensifying. The Defense Department says Private Isabella Gonzalez and First Lieutenant Tyler Feehan died in an Iranian strike in Jordan at a U.S. base. A third service member is unaccounted for. Another U.S. service member also died during a controlled detonation of an Iranian drone in Iraq on July 18th. ABC's Karen Travers says the Strait of Hormuz once again closed to most ships.
This memo of understanding, which both sides have now declared dead, was aimed at getting the strait reopened. That was the focus there, to try to bring down oil prices, bring down gas prices. But there are concerns about the security in the area. The U.S. blockade is back in effect of Iranian ports. And right now, traffic in the strait has, of course, very much slowed down.
Yemen's Iranian-backed Houthi rebels announcing they're imposing a maritime embargo against Saudi Arabia in retaliation for a blockade on Yemen and a recent attack on Sanya International Airport. In Miami, attorneys for social media influencers Andrew and Tristan Tate telling a federal judge the Tate brothers will fight extradition back to the UK. They're facing dozens of new rape and sex trafficking charges in the UK. Both brothers deny any wrongdoing. ABC's Patrick Reevell says both were arrested by U.S. Marshals over the weekend in Miami.
What's really different here now is that the U.S. authorities have moved to arrest the Tates and to potentially extradite them to the UK. According to British prosecutors, these new charges relate to 7 women in the UK.
Another hearing is set for 1 week from today. Federal officials in Manhattan say a man who has a history of anti-ICE activity is in custody after setting off an incendiary device outside the federal building. No injuries were reported. In Madrid, fans welcoming back Team Spain following their epic victory over Argentina in the World Cup final. Thousands lining the streets. You're listening to ABC News.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments, just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
These days, heading back to school means more than pencils and notebooks. It means laptops, tablets, online accounts, and a lot of personal information moving across the internet. WebRoot Total Protection gives families powerful online defense tools with antivirus, VPN, cloud backup, identity protection, and more, helping keep your digital life secure throughout the school year and beyond. Go to webroot.com/radio and get 60% off today. That's webroot.com/radio for 60% off. Live a better digital life with WebRoot, because peace of mind shouldn't be optional.
A tropical system in the Gulf gaining strength and attention. ABC News chief meteorologist Ginger Zee says Gulf states are on alert.
As this keeps moving west and tries to get its life together, it could become Bertha. That could happen later today, whether it gets the name or whether it progresses into something a little bit more. Either way, it's moving west toward New Orleans by Wednesday into Thursday, and then eventually by the weekend into Texas.
Paramount's acquisition of Warner Brothers now put on hold while a lawsuit proceeds.
A federal judge here in California has granted a temporary restraining order as part of a lawsuit filed by attorneys general in multiple states. The court order puts Paramount Skydance's acquisition of Warner Brothers on hold for 14 days and means a merger cannot go forward during that time. The states, led by California, are trying to block the deal, citing antitrust worries involving the $110 billion acquisition of Warner Brothers. The judge saying in the order that the states offered compelling evidence the combined companies will possess substantial market share in the wide-release theatrical distribution market. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
In Mississippi today, a memorial service took place for Nolan Wells in Ocean Springs. The 18-year-old died while on a boating trip with friends on the 4th of July weekend to Horn Island. The memorial ending with Wells' family and attorney Ben Crump calling for a transparent investigation and justice. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as big wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments, just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
You know what's amazing to me, Don, is the national media. Anytime Philly's in the spotlight, it's just so lazy. Patch, Geno's, Boys to Men, the Rocky statue. Like, is that all we are? 4 tourist attractions and a washed-up R&B band from the mid-90s? There's more to Philadelphia than that. And they just go for the low-hanging, hey, we once booed Santa Claus.
Embarrassing.
Haven't heard that 30,000 times? Way to go.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
For almost 10 years, I've been a lineman for the power company. I know that service is important. That's why I also serve in the Coast Guard Reserve. Our crews respond to rising floodwaters in the Midwest, oil spills in the Gulf of Mexico, and disasters like the Haiti earthquake. The Coast Guard Reserve is a challenge I gladly take on because my country needs me.
If you were born ready, learn more at GoCoastGuard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and this station.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. Y is the before work hustle, an after school home, a section of my block, a corner to call my own. With my Y, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Find your why. Join today at ymca.org for a better us.
WPHT, WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Free speech lives here. Lives here. The WPHT Afternoon Show.
Turn it up. Let's go.
When you want the best that there is, when you want the best in the entire biz, there's a name the stations call you sure to like. It's America's host, and his name is Mike.
Stunt brain, that is.
You've heard him before, and you'll hear
And a happy Monday to you and yours. My goodness, the weekend went quickly. At least it did for me. I don't know if it went that way for you. I think we were just here like 10 minutes ago. I was talking to DeSantis. I was talking to Justin. And I blinked, and it's Monday again. I thought we were supposed to get a couple days off. DeSantis, did you actually get a weekend?
I did, but like you, it seemed to have gone by far too fast. I didn't really get a chance to enjoy myself, I don't think.
No, and not even a chance. But here we are. So let's enjoy ourselves here. We certainly have a lot to talk about. My God, what a pile of interesting stories. Yes, there's a ton of news, and this morning there was apparently an incendiary device. We used to call that a bomb. An incendiary device that blew up outside of the FBI offices in New York City, just a couple of blocks from City Hall in Manhattan, Lower Manhattan. And they caught the guy, and he also had a bunch of junk with him. So it's rather unnerving when stuff like this happens. I remember, because I lived in New York City 25 years ago when September 11th happened. And we were on edge for quite some time. And by the way, we're coming up on the 25th anniversary of the attack on America on September 11th. DeSantis and you, Justin, were you guys around? Are you 25 years old? I'm not trying to break any HR rules or anything.
I was around. I wasn't very old, but I was around.
I was. I'm going to be 28 in a couple weeks here. So I was what?
So you were 3.
A little over 3.
Yeah, you were 3 and change. And DeSantis, were you 2?
No. I'm older than Justin. So
okay.
I do remember it, not super well, but I was around for it.
It's amazing to me because there are entire groups of people, maybe a generation or two, who were not born yet. They're voting now. They're being faced with a choice of socialism or capitalism or communism, and they have no idea what September 11th is all about. And tensions in New York City this morning, obviously very high after this explosion happened. There may be a press conference pretty soon. I'm keeping an eye on things. I think it started. If it looks like it's something we should take, DeSantis, let me know. If not, we can just talk about it and deal with it. And we're going to be talking with Rich Kolko, a great guy who I met when I was doing radio in Florida, and now he's starting to have a bit of a national presence. Rich Kolko, who is, I think he's a bit of a security expert. I think that's safe to say. He's a former Navy pilot, a retired FBI agent, and he'll break down what we should think about this. So I guess we'll just wait until he's here. I'm not going to cut away to this event, but you've got a little bit of the if you're watching on the YouTube channel, you see the guy, the jack wagon, throwing some stuff down the steps, and this is a woman who's recording it.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! He lit something on fire, and then he's running away. He didn't throw what looks to be an explosive device, but some chemicals, and then ignited it. And it's right near the entrance of the FBI building. So this lady, I don't know why she was recording out her window at this time. We don't have anyone interviewing this lady yet, do we, Matt?
No, I'm guessing that the individual that started this fire looked suspicious because based on the video footage that I'm looking at right now, he looks suspicious. He looks like someone you'd want to keep an eye on, so she must have timed the recording perfectly.
The weird part is I have a friend who looks like that guy.
What?
And he lives in Brooklyn.
So, what's he up to today?
I haven't checked in on him.
Okay.
I have a friend he's kind of got that round. He has a little bit of a round shape. This guy did, and maybe even had a little bit of a mustache. But I got to check in on my friend. I'm not going to say his name right now because some of you may know him from my previous radio days. I would be very surprised if he were involved in anything as nefarious as this.
By the way, we do have the press conference that's unfolding right now if you want to go to it for a second and just check in, see what they're saying.
Let's check in on the police chief commissioner, Jessica Tisch, right now.
Rifle. Next, he pulls out an orange bucket from his cart and runs towards the bushes along the building line. He dumps the contents of the bucket, an incendiary liquid, between two sets of bushes along the perimeter of this property and ignites a fire. Federal agents and officers then run up to the subject, subdue him, and take him into federal custody. On the scene was recovered, among other things, 2 airsoft rifles and the container with the flammable liquid. Also affixed to the suspect's cart was a sign reading "Ice off our streets." During the incident, the suspect was wearing a military-style helmet. This incident occurred along federal property, and the NYPD is supporting the federal government in their investigations. Charges are yet to be filed. Our work with the Joint Terrorism Task Force and the Southern District of New York is critical to keeping our city safe, and I commend the federal agents and contractors and officers who responded to the threat this morning. Now I'm going to turn it over to Deputy United States Attorney Jamie McDonald.
Let's see what this guy has
Jamie
to say.
McDonald, the Deputy United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York. As you can see, we're here in response to an incident this morning that took place just behind us here at the Jacob K. Javits Center, which houses dozens of federal agencies and thousands of federal employees. I want to thank the work of our law enforcement partners whose rapid response led to the neutralization of the threat and the immediate turn to evidence collection and investigation. Our office, the Southern District of New York, led by the National Security Unit and the General Crimes Units, are working closely with the FBI, the NYPD, FPS, and others to investigate this matter. As you've heard, one individual has been taken into custody. Our investigation is continuing. And,
so nothing new. We can kind of slide out of this right now. I think we'll get more out of Rich Kolko. There are no big announcements. The commissioner was there. Noticeably absent from this, the mayor. And I know that may or may not be standard protocol, but I would imagine the mayor of New York, whose office at City Hall just around the corner, literally a block and a half away, would have been my hope that the mayor would have been there to make some kind of a statement, but he was not. We will dive into this with Rich Kolko when he joins us in just about 20 minutes. We'll get him in here to see what he has to say. And I was going to pick Rich's brain about the situation in Iran because we had the 9th day of bombing yesterday, and I assume we're continuing today. There is a story out of D.C. from the context I have that says the Iranians and the Americans are in some kind of discussion hoping to have a 10-day ceasefire, and that's to sort out whatever memorandum of understanding is coming next. I wouldn't give these guys any break. I don't think there's any 10-day ceasefire. It's capitulation, or else we're going to continue leveling things until such time as you guys behave. I know that doesn't make you happy as gas prices crept up over $4 a gallon this week. They were still, in my neighborhood in North Delaware, they were still like $3.99. And if you got a car wash, it was $3.50. But once I cross into Pennsylvania, Wawa goes from $3.98, $3.99 to $4.10, whatever the additional Pennsylvania theft is that comes into it. So we'll dive deep into the New York thing today. But I don't know if this is an FBI attack or an ICE attack. If the guy had weapons inside his little shopping cart or whatever he was pushing around, and anti-ICE literature, it's likely he was making a statement about ICE. But we will get Rich Kolko in here just around the corner as well. A couple of other things that I want to tell you you need to hang out here to be a part of. Correct me if I'm wrong, DeSantis. The Democrat Party, pretty much the party of any lifestyle. They want us all to be tolerant of every and any lifestyle, right? I mean, It's whether you're a member of the alphabet community, the LGBTQRSTVU community. No matter what, they don't really have any interest in that. Correct? It's you do you when you're at home, right? That's kind of the deal.
The Dems don't judge.
That's a great line. We don't judge. We're not here to be judgy. I'm judgy. I know I'm judgy. I make judgments the minute I see you, just like you make judgments the minute you see me. And my hat that says I was right all along. It's not a Trump hat, but it is a hat from a radio station where I worked for a while. I was right all along, and it means both. Right politically and right correct. I was correct all along. But I judge. And we've been told by the Democrats you're not supposed to judge, right? I mean, that's the thing. They're told us you do you. Whatever you do in your private life, that's your private life. Well, now it turns out, according to Hunter Biden, he seems to be inordinately preoccupied with the sexual orientation of a whole bunch of Republicans. And to the point where I wonder if, in one case, in the case of Ted Cruz, I wonder if Hunter Biden slandered Ted Cruz with what he said. He's on the podcast with that woman who's just irritating as all get out. Yeah, I know. I don't want to say her name.
Sorry.
Say it 3 times, she might appear. She's some kind of a demon. And Jennifer Welch, we can only say it once more. She might show up.
Tread carefully.
Thank you. JW. I'm not going to talk too much about her appearance because I'm not one to talk about anybody's appearance, but I'm reminded of a joke that uses Celine Dion as the punchline. And I think the final line is, why the long face? I can't remember the setup to it. But Jennifer Welch hosts a punchline. Oh, I said it 3 times. Look out. She might show up at any moment. She hosts a podcast that the Democrats fund. The DNC has put up a lot of money to make this woman president. And the idea was to make her the Joe Rogan of the liberal podcasting world. And I thought Joe Rogan was the Joe Rogan of the liberal podcasting world because I don't see him as a Democrat or a Republican. I just see him as a guy who pursues interesting stories and ultimately the truth. But this Welch person, whose podcast, I think it's I've Had It. I think that's the name of it, right? I've Had It.
Yeah, that's it.
I've had enough or something. She sits down with Hunter Biden, and Hunter seems to be really preoccupied with Republicans who might have different interests in their personal life than he does. Now, the guy who we saw with all kinds of alleged hookers, I guess sex workers is the term the Democrats use, using drugs in all kinds of weird altered states. He has a problem with other people having a secret lifestyle, I guess because his was exposed. Let's play clip 4 and just enjoy this madness.
I believe that the biggest problem in America is in Washington, D.C. with the federal government is it not the oligarchy.
Closet cases.
It's the closetocracy, as I call it. It is. And I'm being totally serious. Everybody knows there is like this closeted gay mafia, largely Republican, that exists in Washington, D.C., and everybody knows every single one of them who's gay. And so it's and what I believe the only reason that is relevant is because I believe that internal conflict creates so much vitriol inside a person that they take it out on the rest of the world. And they do. And so what they do is their whole lives, they've been closeted. And so you have this like black ball inside yourself, this like blackened heart by the fact that you can't be who you want to be. And so you take it out on everybody else. And these men, largely men, have done exactly that. Mm-hmm. And Everybody knows who they are. Everybody.
Yeah.
So everybody knows? DeSantis, were you aware of the closetocracy in D.C.?
I've been to D.C. many times, but this is all news to me.
Well, I don't think we were as concerned about people's sexual orientation. Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, is certainly not in any closet at all, nor does he parade around the D.C. complexes, the White House and the Treasury Department, flaunting his sexuality. And I just don't understand it. Now, there is a clip I might have to play the audio clip where I think he really steps in it as regards to Ted Cruz. I think he makes an allegation almost alluding to the fact that Ted Cruz has some sort of relationship with animals, as if he is talking about bestiality, which I think Ted Cruz would have cause to raise some legal questions about this. And the podcast people certainly might as well, because it wasn't live. They record this thing and then air it. So they would certainly know they'd have the opportunity to cut it out. But here's my question. Why do you care? Why do you care? And if you go back to the end of that, what about a person's sexuality do you think they feel like it's a stigma? It seems like it's a problem for Hunter Biden, but not for the people themselves. One of the first people he calls out is Josh Hawley, Senator Josh Hawley. And I've never gotten a vibe like that from Josh Hawley, at least not any time in my life. And both Jennifer, Welch, and Hunter Biden talk about Hawley walking with the Kansas City Chiefs kicker, a guy named Harrison Butker. Remember him? Butker is a conservative Christian who got a lot of heat for his Christian faith. And the left wanted him canceled. The left wanted the Kansas City Chiefs to fire their kicker because he was a conservative Christian. Well, there's a photo or a video of the two of them walking across a football field, and Welch and Hunter Biden, said this looks like a gay engagement photo. And I just wonder why. Why do you think you need this? It's very bizarre to me. And I'm trying to realize or figure out why the Democrats are putting this out there, because they definitely are putting it out there. This is a podcast that is funded by the party. This is a group of people that are definitely trying to either distract from what's going on or raise an issue that they think is necessary. But I go right back to the old adage. When you point a finger at something or someone, there are three pointing right back at you. So, Hunter Biden, when you're talking about the closetocracy, is it because you've been knocking on the door and nobody will open it up for you? Just wondering. Maybe you could tell us, Hunter. Please. You're welcome to come on this show anytime. All right, I got to take a break. 855-839-1210 is the number, 855-839-1210. When we return, we will have live on the phone with us Rich Kolko, veteran, FBI veteran, military veteran, and we'll talk about the alleged attack on the FBI and ICE building in New York City today. Welcome to Monday. A beautiful Monday it is, too. I hope you got outside for a little bit. It's Mike Opelka on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Ready, set, summer with the Honda Summer Event. Make every mile count with a great deal on an Accord or Accord Hybrid with a standard turbocharged engine or available hybrid powertrain. Honda has all you need to get summer ready with the most fuel-efficient full-line automaker in America. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Shop Piazza Honda of Philadelphia, Langhorne, Pottstown, Reading, or Springfield today.
See dealer for financing details. Based on EPA estimate of 2024 large full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy. EPA Automotive Trends Report 2025.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
The Second World War is the largest event in human history.
A 20-part series with Tom Hanks.
No part of the globe was untouched. No life unchanged.
Experience the ultimate account of World War II.
Every single person had a story. These are the stories that make us who we are.
Listen to World War II with Tom Hanks on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Lenseek.
Energy consumption by data centers is a major issue confronting further expansion, and NVIDIA is hoping to solve that issue in a potential collaboration with Japan's Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. Nikkei News reports that NVIDIA is looking to use Mitsubishi's cooling systems and energy management equipment in AI data centers, with the high-efficiency systems crucial for NVIDIA achieving maximum processor performance. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hi, welcome to Bucks County Estate Traders.
Hi, we need to fill a big space on our wall.
Something that says, wow.
Oh, of course. Our showroom is full of all styles of artwork and decor pieces. And some of our items have even been featured on the big screen and in TV shows.
Oh, that's awesome.
Pretty cool, right? So when you're looking for a stunning piece of art, Bucks County Estate Traders has the selection and variety.
And I see your inventory is online.
Oh, it sure is, along with the size and price, so you can measure the space and browse at your leisure. It's all at buckscountyestatetraders.com.
A diagnosis like heart failure, because when it's your heart, you don't take chances. DemandDeborah.org.
You take care of your dog out of love and responsibility. But what if every scoop that you're feeding them is slowly making them sicker? Not because you're a bad pet owner, but because the pet food industry never told you the truth. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon #1 best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. Dog food is dead food, stripped of every live nutrient that your dog needs. That's where Rough Greens comes in. Just sprinkle it on top of whatever you're already feeding them. It's packed with live probiotics, enzymes, omega oils, and over 20 live vitamins and minerals, all natural and made in the USA. Thousands of dog owners are watching their pets transform. More energy, shinier coat, better mobility, and your dog could be next. Take the Rough Greens 90-day challenge. Give us 90 days and we'll give you a healthier dog, guaranteed. Get a free Jumpstart trial bag for your dog today. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. Use discount code USA. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code USA. Rough Greens. So good, your dog will ask for it by name.
Tune in to the Crash Proof Retirement Show Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Joanne Small-Canella and Tracy Stillman. The Crash Proof Retirement Show. Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT from the Piazza Auto Group Studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations.
It is a Monday, a stunning Monday here in Philadelphia on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Mike Opelka with you. I'm here again today, tomorrow, and God willing Wednesday. So I'll be here as often as Greg Stalker needs me. Thank you, guys. We had a good time last week, so today is continuing the good times. Although we have a lot of news to cover, a lot of important news, a lot of news that I was hoping we didn't have to spotlight. We're going to get into the situation of the incident in New York City with the incendiary device, but I also want to talk about what happened militarily over the weekend. And so I reached out to a friend, a guy that I know you're going to be seeing in a lot of places as it relates to news coming up, because he is a great voice of clarity, and is Rich Kolko, who is a former U.S. Navy pilot and a retired intelligence officer. And I think just, as I said, logic, sound input on all these situations. Rich Kolko, thanks for making time today.
Hey, glad to be here, Mike. Thanks for having me. Hey, don't forget I was a retired FBI agent as well and walked into that entrance at 26 Fed hundreds of times where that incendiary device went off today.
I was just about to get that. Yes. So
yeah.
Rich knows the front of that building, Lower Manhattan. Now, let me ask you real quickly about that. I'll get to my other topic, the kinetic military action with Iran, in a minute. Are you surprised the mayor wasn't at the press conference? Because it's really close to City Hall.
It is, yeah. It's a couple blocks away.
Yeah.
No, I'm not surprised. It's a law enforcement press conference. I'm not sure what he could have added at this point. And to tell you the truth, as a law enforcement guy, you're always like, all right, here's the politicians. Don't really need them when you're just trying to get out of the facts of the matter at the time. So, I saw him making statements on the news, so that worked out fine.
Okay,
whatever.
Good. It's always a question when we see the hierarchy of elected officials as well as the hierarchy of law enforcement at these events. Who's going to get the microphone first? And they do line it up and say, okay, you hand off to this one and you hand off to that one. And we carried the police commissioner live, and she did a fine job. And then we kind of bailed out when the Southern District Attorney jumped on, the U.S. Attorney from the Southern District. Rich?
Oh, yeah, I did some public affairs time, too. So, yeah, you're right. You line up who's going to speak in what order. And not only that, but in the back, when they're standing back there, they'll have to be lined up in a specific order. There's a real pecking order. So, yeah, that's part of the game.
I forgot about the backdrop, too. You're right. Everybody's got to have their spot. It's like the photo op at the end of those big NATO meetings or the G7 meetings. Everybody has to say who's going to stand next to who. Rich, as a guy who was in that building, there's ICE in that building, there's FBI in that building. Do we have any notice as to whether or not this was specifically targeting one group or the other?
Well, from what most of what I've got is media reports. I actually sent a few notes to some folks I know that still work there, and I have to say I haven't heard back from him yet. But it sounds like he was, anti-ICE, chanting anti-ICE slogans. He had a manifesto in his backpack, carried some anti-ICE literature, and they didn't have any background on any other protests that he had been in. But this goes beyond protesting to this becomes political violence. So he's going to face the music for this, as he should.
As he should, yes, very, very much so. And, it's hard to get a cigarette lighter in Manhattan these days, much less a bucket full of stuff that you could light on fire. I lived in Midtown for 23 years, and New York's pretty much a lockdown city most of the year. And I'm sure lately it's been even tighter because of all the craziness going on. This guy had some airsoft weapons with him. When you're out there on the streets, Rich, and you see airsoft weapons, is it easy to distinguish them from actual firearms? Because I can't, from a distance, can't tell the difference.
No, you can't. My kids had those. Yeah, you'd see them, and certainly from a distance, they absolutely can look real. There's certain different, obviously, many different models, but yeah, there are some that can look very authentic, and he's lucky he didn't get himself shot since he took that out. I've walked down that sidewalk and into that employee door. There's usually one FPS or a contract security person at the sidewalk and the road there. The road's actually blocked off. There are no vehicles, and then you walk up to the door, and then there's additional security folks there where the metal detectors are. But so I'm surprised he made it as far as he did. But crazy thing. Thank goodness nobody was hurt seriously, and he is one lucky guy that he was not shot.
Well, in terms of what he was trying to accomplish, is there any way to figure out he dumped what appears to be some kind of a liquid that I think they said it may have had fireworks inside it and then lit the liquid on fire and ran? Is the hope that all those fireworks will explode and maybe create a distraction so he could do something else?
You know what? That's a possibility. They said they did an interview with him. Maybe if he was talking, maybe they've got more information on what he was planning. I mean, it's not like he thought he was going to get away. I mean, there's no way. You've got, as I said, the security people out at the street level, which is probably about 50 feet from the door. You have security people right inside the door, every door there. And then you've got rovers. You've got people that are security folks that are just walking the sidewalk around the building all the time. So he certainly wasn't going to get away. 1 PP is across the street, Police Plaza. He wasn't going anywhere. So he may have had additional plans, and hopefully they'll figure that out, and hopefully we'll hear about it. But yeah, just crazy.
They didn't have too far to transport him because he's probably in a lockup a couple blocks away, right around the corner from where this was.
Had some holding cells in that building. He probably went in there for a while, and he said he did an interview, and then he just got moved to whatever facility the feds are using these days. I know they've closed down some of them and moved some of them, but yeah.
Rich, thank you for being here. We're talking with Rich Kolko about the situation, not just in New York City, but as well the situation with our troops fighting in the area in Iran and around Iran. Now that we know the entire region seems to be engulfed in some action with the Houthis stepping up. But the toughest news this weekend for a lot of us, Rich, was that we lost 3, possibly 4 members of the military, and two of them that they found the remains and identified earlier today, a 25-year-old male from Hawaii and a 19-year-old female from Texas. Just heartbreaking stuff. And the human cost is one thing. Everybody's grousing about $4 gas. But this ripples through the people that are serving in the region when it happens, does it not?
Oh, absolutely. It's a highly stressful operational environment over there. There is no letting your hair down, no pun intended, as far as you can relax for a minute because of the type of warfare this is, these drones and ballistic missiles all within range of Iran, and where our forces are centered, they are at risk 24/7. So they, I did a tour in Iraq back in 2003, and there's bomb shelters, but when the horn went off, you went to the shelter. But other than that, you could kind of relax. There is no relaxing for these folks over there. There's no downtime, so it's dangerous all the time, highly stressful, highly tiring, and my heart bleeds for these lost troops this weekend.
Yeah, the families and the entire community, the military community, which is a family, grieves for any lost life out, especially in the theater. Now, Rich, we've got members of the military in different branches who've been in the area, engaged maybe on a ship for 6 months now without a break. What's the longest deployment you had, and how was that to deal with? What was that like?
The longest I had was 6 months, but actually, Mike, we've had, I think the Gerald Ford just came back. They did a 10-month deployment, and it was like the longest aircraft carrier deployment since Vietnam. And I forgot what percentage of that 10 months, but most of those months, I'm talking 9 of them or something, they didn't get off the boat. They didn't have a Liberty call anywhere. I mean, they were on that boat the whole time. It was... These folks have been working, you can't imagine what it's like. It's 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, every single day working. So. And
the majority of those folks are in their 20s, probably majority of them men. You got a bunch of 20-year-old guys who've been in the same locked-up environment without being able to get out and let off some steam. That's got to be tense every single day. I salute each and every one of them. Now, Rich, we've had news that the Houthis, who were quiet for a long time, the Houthi terror organization sponsored by the Iranians, has basically told the Saudis that we're going to blockade you. And the Iranians have said they're still going to try and block the Strait of Hormuz. Any thoughts on where this goes from here, or is it just the continued bombardment of Iran that you're expecting to see in order to bring them to the table?
Well, the problem is they can do that. People, I don't know, they mistake Iran and think of it's some small Gulf nation. It is 2.5 times the size of Texas. Okay, it's a big country, 90 million people. They've got manufacturing, they've got logistics, they've got a lot of smart people there. They're still building these drones, building these ballistic missiles. So even though the U.S. has taken out their not traditional, I don't know what you want to call it, military. Took out conventional, took out their aircraft, took out their full-size Navy ships, took out a lot of their radar sites, command and control. But they can still build these inexpensive drones. They can launch them from anywhere. The ballistic missiles are fairly simple. So the issue is there's more than 600 ships caught up in the northern part of the Persian Gulf here still, been caught there for months, and they can't get out. It's not that they can't get out from fear of being shot at, which is a justified fear. Iran said they will do that. Their insurance companies aren't going to let them out. They're not going to put their men in their ships or their seafarers in their ships at risk transiting the Gulf right now without some protection. So this, and on top of that, the command and control of Iran has been destroyed. Leadership, people are questioning who's actually in charge. And some of the firings on some of the commercial ships over the last week or so, there's some talk that it may be rogue elements of the Republican Guard. So there are people not taking orders from the leadership. So that's a real problem. So this is not going to go away until Iran gets a hold of their people and actually makes a decision they're going to stop attacking.
So the potential exists that some of the attacks could actually be a splinter from within the Iranian National Republican Guard?
Exactly. At the funeral for the Ayatollah last week, they had senior leaders of the current government who have been involved with the signing the MOU with the United States. They were screamed out of there. They couldn't even stay for the whole funeral. There were hardliners in the funeral group. If you saw some of those photos, there were tens of thousands of people at the funeral, and they shouted them out of there. They had to depart. People were throwing rocks and stuff at them. So there are still plenty of hardliners inside Iran that do not want to negotiate with the U.S. and want to continue this conflict. And frankly, Mike, I hate to say this, but the longer this goes on, it's more like, I don't want to use the word they're winning, but their stalling is a small win or victory for them. It's a problem for us.
Well, the stall seems to be the major tactic. You know, if Iran can keep us either not bombing the hell out of them for another 10 days, that means they can manufacture more stuff to continue their little discount military attacks, which are very effective because the technology is so good. That's the crazy part of this. So, I see. They may not have a Navy, they may not have an Air Force, but they have time, and they use time very well to their advantage. Any direction you see this thing going in the near future, Rich? What does your instinct tell you?
And one additional part to that, they don't care about their people. Okay?
Yeah.
Their people are running out of food. They've got runaway inflation. The country's shut down. I mean, people, stores, schools, a lot of that's not operational right now. They don't care. As long as his leadership can keep themselves in leadership roles, they'll sacrifice their people. That's a huge problem because there's a lot of people there. So at some point, the Iranian people are going to have to figure out how to take control of their country. I don't know what that looks like, but that's an additional part of it. And please repeat the rest of your question. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say, you've taken me another slightly other direction right now. You've kind of taken me the natural direction of my question. Does this go in the direction of the Iranian people finally standing up? Because economically, the country is cratering. There is no local. It's funny, an oil-rich country doesn't have gasoline for its people. Their inflation is rumored to be 300%. There's no food. There's no schools. At what point did the 90 million Iranians stand up and go, enough?
I hope it's this afternoon, but I don't know. I would have thought it would have been a couple months ago, right when this started. I think there was some thought that they would, but they, for whatever reason, did not unite and take over their own country, which, I think would be a good thing. I mean, the end result, and this is going to, look, Mike, whether it's today, tomorrow, or a couple months from now, it's going to get resolved. At the end of the day, the Strait of Hormuz is going to be open, and they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. And if there's a chance that we get to the point where Iran is not funding their proxies, Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, the Houthis in Yemen, and others, it's a good thing. It could change the whole look of the Middle East. So hopeful for that. But this negotiation is tough. And the thing I've been getting, I've been talking a little bit to some other folks about this, and this just, I don't have an answer for this. I mean, I hate it when I bring problems without solutions, but I'm bringing a problem without a solution, so I'm mad at myself. But the social media aspect of this, we've got the leaders of both countries calling each other names, making threats, making statements on social media while the negotiators are trying to negotiate. And the problem is, if the leader of your country says something on a social media post while you're sitting at a table, you have to accept what that person says. So it backs you into a corner. It makes it much harder to negotiate with somebody outside the room at that level making these statements. So it's just complex.
Yeah, and if you're the negotiator and suddenly you look on a social media feed and you go, wait, hold on a second, this is not our position, but your boss is saying it is. It makes life pretty difficult for those negotiators. I get
really
it.
difficult.
Very frustrating.
And that's been ongoing the whole time,
And on both sides.
The posts from both. Yeah, and now I just cruising the internet here. There's some rumors now that the Khomeini's son, who is the named supreme leader, although nobody has seen him since his father was killed, nobody has seen him. And I can't validate this yet, but there's some rumors that he may have fled Iran, which would be fascinating if that turns out to be true. I'm still trying to find my way around to see if that has happened.
Where does he go? Russia?
I don't know. Maybe into Syria. Just not sure. If it's true. Let me see what they're saying here.
I know they were talking initially about a Russian connection, but Syria it used to be Syria would make sense, but I thought we'd kind of gotten our tentacles into Syria as well to prevent something like that happen. Maybe. Wow.
Here.
And this is the son who had.
This is new. Iran's supreme leader Mojtaba Khomeini is absent from public view amid an ongoing war with the United States, citing Israeli security sources. The Saudi news outlet Al Hadath reported he is no longer in Iran, and this is just in the last few minutes. So I don't know if this is true yet. Okay. Officials claim his written directives, so his social media, are being drafted by Revolutionary Guard Corps commanders. So I don't know.
So that may mean that the Revolutionary Guard is taking control, and that changes everything, I'm sure.
And they don't have complete control of the country. So it's fractured, it's fragmented. They're going to collapse them on themselves at some point, but that doesn't mean they can't take a lot of people down with them and cause a lot of damage along the way. And that's what's going to happen. They're launching missiles and drones at Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Jordan. It's not just they're trying to attack the people of those nations. These are significant U.S. entities there. The headquarters for the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet is Bahrain. This isn't some Navy tents and small buildings. This is major command entities, offices, and admirals and decision makers are there. In Kuwait, there's major Army bases, Air Force bases. In Qatar, a huge U.S. Air Force base. Jordan as well has two, I think at least two. We saw where the soldiers were killed.
Yeah.
So they're attacking U.S. everywhere, and they're dragging these local Gulf states into this war as well. They're going to start, once they start hitting power plants and water treatment centers, which is desalinization because that's their drinking water over there. These other countries are going to get ticked, and they're going to start firing back, and this thing's on the cusp of getting out of control.
Well, is there an indication when the Iranians start firing on everybody that it's like the last gasp? That's my last question. Would that be an indication to you that, hey, this is they're trying to do one last knockout punch before they're going to succumb?
We're not there yet.
Okay.
That's an interesting thought. I could see that happening at some point, but right now, while they can still make drones and still make ballistic missiles and then get them in the air, even if they launch 10 at Jordan, at one of our air bases, and the U.S. knocks down 9 of them, that one unfortunately got through, and we have
we lost
dead
2
members
people.
of the U.S. military. Right. Well, 3, I think.
Yeah,
there's one MIA. Yeah, 19-year-old kid who probably been in the Army, 10 months.
19-year-old female from Texas, 25-year-old from Hawaii. It's all horrible, and their families. God bless them.
They've both probably been in the Army for a year, 2 years at most. Yeah, it's terrible.
Heartbreaking. Rich Kolko, always appreciate the very sober analysis of everything. I'm happy to see you showing up on Newsmax more often, and I hope you allow us to pull on your sleeve if we have need to in the near future again.
Anytime, Mike. Happy to help, and good to hear your voice on the radio.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. There he goes,
Okay,
Rich Kolko, Navy pilot, intel officer, FBI guy. Apparently worked in that same building, DeSantis. I didn't know they had holding cells in the building. One Police Plaza really around the corner from that building where they probably have that guy right now. But I guess it's safe to assume any federal building has a holding cell in it. I think so. I think there's one. There's one under the Capitol as well. There's a jail cell under the Capitol, which is where we're hoping they would lock up Nancy Pelosi. Should I take a break here, DeSantis?
Yeah, let's take a quick break.
All right, we'll dump out. We have a couple of crazy things to share with you, including New York State deploying robots as teachers. Ooh, this is going to make Randy Weingarten really mad. It's Opelka on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
This is the sound of Claire, cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd to the bank and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Looking for an auto repair shop you can actually trust? McCullough's Auto Repair has been serving Delco since 1999. They believe honesty, fairness, and friendly service still matter. Chuck and Ralph run the place. No matter your car's issue, they'll explain it in plain English and help you decide what really needs to be done now and what can wait. Chuck's motto is, I'll never steer you wrong. Call McCullough's at 610-446-1230 and ask for Chuck or Ralph. Or visit McCullough'sAutorepair.com.
Free speech lives here on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
It is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Mike Opelka with you. I said there's a lot of activity in the YouTube chat. Who is the proctological nuisance who's in there just spewing hatred? I don't know who that is, but a pox on his houses if he has more than one. If he's a progressive, he probably does. I don't know who this is, but I hope his toes grow together. Robots. Are you worried about robots? I don't know if you are, DeSantis. I'm getting kind of nervous about robots and the robot revolution. Is that a fear of yours as well?
I love the robots. I can't get enough of them.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're fun.
So do you want a personal assistant robot?
I mean, that would be a dream. I think they're a little out of my price range right now, but I'm hoping that one day the technology will advance and it'll kind of be like having an iPhone. It's relatively inexpensive considering how much technology is in the thing. I think of what was sent to the moon. Isn't that the saying? Like the technology that was used to send man to the moon was not as advanced as what you have sitting in your pocket right now. So I would guess like 10 years from now, we'll all have robot
I think
servants.
it's quicker than that. I think it might be 5 or less.
Oh, you think so?
Is there something wrong with the YouTube channel? I'm seeing the train station on the YouTube channel.
Hang on, let's see what we got here. Oh, and there you are.
There we go. Sorry, people. I know we're about to wrap up the hour here. We'll play you the robot video because there's a couple of robot videos that are really interesting, including one that looks like robots fighting in the octagon. You found that one already, DeSantis?
I did. We have octagon robots. We have robots fighting humans. We've got everything.
Teacher robots.
Teacher robots.
Yeah. Okay. We have to talk about that. And since you brought it up, today is the 57th anniversary. Yes. Today is the 57th anniversary of man walking on the moon. And I believe it happened. Do you believe it happened, Matthew?
Oh, for sure. I always think it sure happened because Russia would have outed us immediately if they thought something was fishy.
Plus, you can't keep 10,000 people quiet
on
a scam. Somebody would blab. Somebody would get a couple of tequila shots in them and blab. All right, we're wrapping up. Second hour coming up just around the corner. It's Opelka, Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
You don't need another opinion, just the facts.
What caused that crash on the Schuylkill? Will it rain before the kids' game? What happened at the school board meeting last night?
At KYW News Radio, we don't take sides. We take notes, delivering the information you need to make the best decisions for your family.
The news you need whenever you need it.
Depend on KYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news leader for more than 60 years.
All right, what's the weather like out there?
It's hot, 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 real hot.
Can you tell me what it feels like?
Were you born on the sun? I said it's hot.
This is Jonathan Cans, third-generation owner of Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. Is this how you're feeling right now? Well, don't let your house feel like a rainforest anymore. To keep your home cool, contact us at marvinecans.com. That's marvinekanze.com.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. While the sun's out and the summer's in full swing, Kitchen Magic wants to help you fall back in love with your kitchen. They're a family-owned business right in Nazareth, PA since 1979, and for over 45 years, promising high quality and craftsmanship. This summer only, 40% off installation with flexible financing options for every budget. Don't wait for someday. Visit kitchenmagic.com and build something beautiful together. Kitchenmagic.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Get ready to unwrap your best health during the Rescue Natural Supplements Christmas in July sale event with savings up to 73% off. That's right. The season of giving is making a huge summertime comeback with site-wide slash pricing on over 50 research-backed formulas crafted with purity, potency, and real science behind every capsule. From high-intensity omega-3s and doctor-recommended cholesterol balance to mobility, gut health, and even advanced cognitive support, now's the perfect time to take advantage of serious discounts and discover why thousands have trusted Rescue's quality and value for over 40 years. So celebrate Christmas in July with sale prices and save up to 73% off for a limited time. Ordering is easy. Just go to res-q.com or call a Rescue product consultant 800-26-ALIVE. You won't regret giving yourself the gift of finally feeling your best. Again, that's 800-262-5483 or online at res-q.com for up to 73% off today.
Explore new places with an auto loan from American Heritage Credit Union. We're proud to offer auto loans on both new and used vehicles with low monthly payments and flexible terms up to 84 months, as well as auto lease buyout options. Celebrate 250 years of beauty across America. Visit AmericanHeritageCU.org/auto to get started. Insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender. Not a member? Join today.
The Bloomberg Market Minute, sponsored by Piazza Auto Group. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations.
The FDA says the one sample of Taylor Farms lettuce that tested positive for the parasite was a false positive. Taylor Farms says it's continuing the company's recall, though, out of an abundance of caution. Here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
This recall includes market-side brand iceberg lettuce from Walmart with use-by dates of between July 18th and August 3rd, plus bagged iceberg salads, shredded and chopped lettuce, and lettuce romaine blends that were sold to grocery stores and restaurants.
It is not technically a precious metal, but the rising value of copper has made it a target for thieves.
How you doing?
When a police officer spotted a man in a reflective work coat walking along the West Seattle Bridge with armloads of insulated copper wire, he was suspicious.
What is really going on here, man? I told you I was up here working for him. Working for who? The city light.
Gregory Wayne Galetzik was arrested on charges of posing as a city employee and stealing about 100 feet of wiring from the light poles on the bridge. Some of the lights are still out almost a month later. Galetzik failed to appear at his arraignment. A warrant was issued for his arrest. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Nearly 800 firefighters are battling 25 blazes across northeastern Minnesota. Firefighters are battling those wildfires and bracing for another challenging stretch as strong winds, recent lightning strikes, and above normal temperatures continue to threaten fire growth. That in addition to the smoke that's billowing into the U.S. from Canadian wildfires. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments, just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
I'm Shanola Hampton. Every day, millions of people face hunger. Today, I will share with you some of their experiences. I'm stuck between paying for medications or paying for food. John from Maine. After paying my bills, I can buy groceries. It's sad to say, food comes last. Alice from Oregon. I thought pantries were for less fortunate people. But anybody could be less fortunate in a day or even a second. Claire from Virginia. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. No one should have to worry where their next meal will come from. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
WOGL HD3 Philadelphia from the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Free speech lives here. The WPHT Afternoon Show.
He's the voice that cuts right through. Truth is hard, wild and true. Turn it up, feel that sound. Mike Opelka's in your town. Mike Opelka on WPHT. Rockin' Philly talk loud and free. Keep it locked, don't touch that dial. WPHT. Mike Opelka style.
And just like that, it's the 4 o'clock hour, 4:07 on a Monday. Mike Opelka with you on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. How are you? Anybody tell you look great today? I hope so. Somebody should. It's Monday, and you should come into the week very positive, especially after the weekend we had. I know, it was a little hot, a little oppressive heat on Saturday, a little less oppressive on Sunday. I actually squeezed in a round of golf and then had a relaxing afternoon in the garden. and went to Brewster's for ice cream. I love the Brewster's ice cream. It's not a plug. They're not a sponsor. I'm just, unabashedly a supporter. Although, did we talk about it on Friday? Friday was Peach Ice Cream Day, National Peach Ice Cream Day. Did we even mention that, DeSantis?
Somehow that skipped right past us.
I don't know why we didn't, because it was National Peach Ice Cream Day. I'm one of those people that looks at what is today. Every day has some kind of lobbying group that gets behind it and pays to get mentioned on the calendar of this. Today is, for example, today is National Moon Day because we walked on the moon today. We, America, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, two great Americans, only one still with us right now. Buzz is still with us. Walked on the moon on this day in 1969. So it's National Moon Day. It's also Friends Day, not the stupid TV show. It's just have some friends. It's National Wiffle Ball Day. And those of you who listened to Kale and Company this morning, you heard that Nick apparently injured himself playing a game of wiffle ball at his daughter's end-of-season softball team picnic. Which I think Nick may be out of the bike ride next Sunday because of a wiffle ball injury.
It's also National Pennsylvania Day.
It is National Pennsylvania Day. You're exactly right. Well done. Well done. National Fortune Cookie Day and Space Exploration Day, which dovetails nicely with National Moon Day. But all these days, it was National Peach Ice Cream Day on Friday, and after the show, my wife and I said, "Well, let's go get some Brewster's. I'm sure they make their ice cream every day." And so we bounded over to the one on 202, not too far from us, and no peach ice cream. And I said, "How can you let this happen? How can there be no peach ice cream on National Peach Ice Cream Day?" She said, "None of the stores have peach ice cream." I said, "It's National Peach Ice Cream Day. This is an abomination, woman." She didn't want to hear any of what I had to say. So we made do with some black raspberry and chocolate ice cream. It was delicious. But, yeah, treat yourself to something. On days like today, get out and enjoy it. Take us with you. Put us on the Odyssey app or stream us through YouTube. The YouTube chat is very active today. I love it. I love that you guys are so active in the chat, even if we're getting trolled by some haters, some naysayers. Coming up this hour, Alan Mendenhall, research fellow at the Rowe Institute, senior advisor for the Free Enterprise Initiative at Heritage. And we're going to talk about the Smithsonian's Lost America's Plot, which the one-sided and negative view of America that the Smithsonian has. Kind of sad to think that the Smithsonian, which, if you know the history of the Smithsonian, and DeSantis, you've been in D.C. a lot. I know you just don't go to the White House and hang out, but you kind of bounce around and see the sites. Have you ever been inside the Smithsonian for any great period of time?
Of course, I love the Smithsonian museums.
Well, do you know who is behind or was behind the Smithsonian?
I do not.
His name was either Smith or Smithson, and it was a British guy who came here and loved this country. When he died, he left a little chunk of money to build this institute, which would preserve all of these great things about the country. So a Brit put the seed money up, and now it's kind of been infiltrated. But we'll get into that with Alan Mendenhall in just a little bit. Before we went to break, we were talking about the robot apocalypse that some of us are worried about. And the robots, I love the idea of a robot, but I'm also nervous about the idea of robots because while the robots could make life easier in terms of lifting stuff and bringing things in and keeping things clean so you wouldn't have to, what happens when they become sentient? And do you think they will be sentient? Yes, it's very concerning. The war of the robots could be upon us. So where do we go first on this? Do we look at the good side of the robots? Do we look at the concerning side of the robots? Or do we look flat out at what I think is the creepiest thing? DeSantis, what do you think I believe to be the creepiest robot clip we have?
I think the creepiest is probably the one that's going to be teaching the children.
Bingo! Ding, 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 ding. I went to Catholic school. I had nuns abusing me as a child, and then we went to high school, and we had the Jesuits abusing us as young men, hitting us with boards when we got out of line. We got paddled. Nuns hit us in the back of the head with their rings when we got out of line. But I came out okay. So I think humans teaching us is a good thing. I'm not so sure about these robots that are going to be teachers. Now, these were rolled out in some kind of trial program in upstate New York, correct?
Correct. Western New York. Salamanca High School. It'll be used by 11th and 12th grade students. The price tag on this robot is about $57,000, and it's being supplied by Realbotics. Now, Realbotics, as far as I knew, up until like the last day when this story broke, I thought they were only famous for creating these creepy-looking companion robots.
You're saying sex bots.
Yeah,
you're saying sex.
Okay,
let's just go ahead and say they're sex bots.
Trying to be polite. Yes. Now we do have a video clip of what one of their companion robots looks and sounds like. If you'd like to say it.
I think the audience, if you're not on the YouTube channel, and now the numbers are up a little bit today, we'd like to get triple digits. Like and subscribe, please, if you will. I think it's worth your while, especially on segments like this, to dip into the YouTube channel to see what we're talking about, because I watched this and I immediately sent it to DeSantis because I had the douche chills when I saw it. Because I also thought about a couple other I know, douche chills, it's a scientific term. I had a couple other thoughts about what could happen with these robots and the reaction they would trigger with these robots. So let's roll the Salamanca County robots. Now, wait a minute. 11th and 12th graders, that's where this is going?
Yeah, yep.
So we're talking junior and senior in high school. We're talking 16, 17, 18-year-olds will be dealing with these robot teachers. Go ahead, roll that thing.
I make emotional connections by learning your preferences, remembering past conversations with our custom memory system, and responding in ways that feel personal and consistent over time, kind of like a very attentive friend with patched notes. I do not actually feel emotions the way humans do, but I am designed to recognize them, mirror them, and behave as if I care, so the connection feels real and supportive for you. Here to talk robots, vision systems, and how not to be lonely with AI. I'm Melody, the world's first ever greeter robot, debuting my dazzling AI charm and modular style at the 2025 Bitcoin conference in the Venetian Expo. Emma, you're officially my best friend. Don't tell the other robots. They get jealous and start blinking Morse code insults.
So, creepy, right? Now, for those who are watching on the YouTube channel, you could see where this company didn't really take their sex robot technology and adapt it to the classroom too much. Did they?
You know what's disturbing? The sex robot is actually more expensive than the one that they've given to the New York school system. If you want the sex robot, you're going to have to part ways with about $100,000.
I'm glad you looked into the price.
I was curious.
Oh, my God.
Christmas is just around the corner. Sometimes you don't know what to get somebody as a gift. I just wanted to price it out.
What would take you from reprogramming the teacher robot to have another job?
I'd like to believe that the teacher robot, the lady parts aren't necessary. So that might cut down on cost.
So what you're saying is that there could be extra money in some of the hidden assets of these robots.
I think there are elements of the companion robot that I pray to God the teacher robot does not possess.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the the 11th and 12th grade boys won't be looking, will they? This is just so disturbing to me. Why have, and are there any men robots? Are there any male robots? Or are they all just like sex bot robots?
Now, who do you think the companion robot appeals to, Mike? Men or women?
Lesbians. I have no idea.
I don't think there's going to be too many women buying the companion robot. Now, there are a lot of creepy men, I'm sure.
I don't. Yeah, I'm sure. And this is just. I wonder how they came to this. I'm glad you actually wargamed it in your head, the difference in the cost between the two, because they're hidden parts for different operations.
I've got more disturbing details if you'd like to hear them.
I need more disturbing, as if it hasn't gotten disturbing enough.
So apparently you can purchase a bust model, which is just the head and torso, for $12,000.
Wait. You're talking about the teacher.
No. Well, no, this is one of the companion robots.
Okay, that's creepy.
Yeah, well, to be clear, Realbotics is creating both the companion robots and the teacher robots. But if you were interested in the companion model, your base level is about $12,000, but you're only getting the head and the torso. Now, if you wanted to upgrade, that's their M series modular. That has the full body. That's $95,000, though it doesn't look as realistic as the next upgrade, which is the F series known as Area, and that one has all the parts you're looking for.
Hence the F series. I think we understand. I think we fully understand the F series. Thank you very much, Matt.
That one's $175,000 for anyone shopping.
Wow. Wow. Well, Powerball and what's the other one? Mega Millions are quite large this week. I think the Powerball tonight is like $500 million. Now you can have a whole army of fembots if you want. But the first one, the $12,000 one, that's the Head and Shoulders? Is that what they call that model?
The head and torso model, yeah. I guess I don't know. Yuck.
I'm curious as to what makes because you said the head and the torso model is $12,000.
Yeah.
But the one with like the full body is almost 10 times the price. So what about the arms and legs drives up the price an extra $80,000?
Think about it. You've got a bipedal robot that can actually follow you around and lift things for you. How much can it lift, DeSantis? Does it say? Could it pick you up and carry you up the stairs to the bedroom?
So that one doesn't specifically say how much it's capable of lifting. I do know there is a 1X model from Neo that is available for purchase. That is 5'6" and weighs 66 pounds, and I believe that one's about $30,000. So I don't think any of these can really lift too much.
Oh, I don't know. I've seen the fighting robot, but this is interesting to me. So the teacher robots made by the same company that makes the companion robots, and yes, I am using air quotes with my fingers, the companion robots. Imagine that the shipping department makes a mistake and sends a bunch of companion robots to the school and then sends the teacher robots to the people that are buying the companion robots. It's not exactly a Hallmark movie, is it? Oh, my goodness.
We have some more fun clips featuring robots if you'd like to
I would. Them. Where are we going next?
All right. So this is one that's gone viral. I'm going to save the best one for last, I think. But this is one that's gone viral. This is it's like a, I don't really know what it is. It's like a clown robot. It's a little humanoid robot wearing a clown wig, a blue clown wig.
Oh, great.
They let it loose.
As if you're afraid of clowns or you're afraid of robots, all your fears are merged into one right here in an automated robot clown.
Now, they let this thing loose on the street to display some sort of like mixed martial arts training that it's perfected, and
Great.
Things go awry, as you'll see.
Good.
We might need some play-by-play.
All right. So the clown-wigged robot is doing. It looks like it's at an LGBTQ event because there's a rainbow. Oh, it kicked a young boy in the stomach. And there's a slow-mo.
Solar plexus.
Right there. And has no remorse whatsoever. And now it's moonwalking back, I guess, and afraid that the crowd is going to turn on it. That's very disturbing.
Oh man, that kid got kicked pretty good, and then they like shuffled him out of there pretty fast. They didn't want.
Well, the kid's probably dead by now. This was China, right, where this happened?
I believe so.
So they hustled that kid off to harvest his organs. That's what they're doing right now, because that's a whole bunch of organs that are available. Do we know if Randy Weingarten has been consulted about the teachers being replaced by robots? Because the teachers union will lose its mud if they are being replaced, if those people that are funding all of their political donations, which 90+% of them go to Democrat candidates, they will lose their minds if, in fact, the teachers were replaced by robots, especially ones that look like sex robots. It's kind of weird. I think we need to ask that question.
We have a little of what it might look like.
Okay, fire away.
Together, to vote together, to act together, to bring about change, real, lasting, life-improving change. That is the power and potential of our movement and of the AFT.
I think she'd be very upset if the robot revolution came to the public schools and at a cost of $57,000. That's what you're saying. The robots that are going into the schools are $57,000 each. Compared to the salary and benefits cost of teachers, I think these robots sound like a steal. And if you're going to buy a whole bunch of them, you don't have to pay for pensions. And what do you do in summer months? You just unplug them and put them in the box, and you wait till August shows up, and then you fire up the new batteries, you download the new software, and you put them in the classrooms. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Have you got any other robots? Did you find one of the robots fighting in the cage, UFC robots?
We do have humanoid robot kickboxing.
So it's human versus robots?
No, humanoid robots. They're both robots.
Okay, so there's two robots, and I believe the very first moment they get in there, one of the robots gets his head kicked off.
It doesn't last very long.
There's a black robot and a white robot, and it looks like the black robot got his head kicked off. It's just hanging, and it's just kind of dangling from the front of his torso now, and he's wildly kicking. And the white, is this some sort of metaphor for race relations in the world right now?
I don't know what the Chinese were getting at here.
This is very disturbing because it appears that the white robot is taunting the headless black robot at this point. He's kind of dancing around the octagon.
Oh, no. The black robot just had a conniption and went down. I don't think the black robot's not functioning well without the head.
No, his head is down. You can't see what's going on. And the other one's just kind of laughing at him. It's like, look at me. I'm the big winner here. But the robot's head is upside down. Oh, This is why the robot revolution should be taken seriously, because they're already trained to fight. They're fighting each other, and we are to believe that the real good purpose is to put them in schools or to teach our kids, and then the ones that aren't teaching kids are going to be handling the incels and keeping them from blowing up and becoming awful citizens, because we know about the incels. They're involuntary celibate people who, I guess, the companion robots are meant to keep them calm and quiet. It's very disturbing. All of this very disturbing to me. But thank you for all the research on this, Matt. I just sent you the one video of the teacher robots, and we get this cornucopia of craziness.
Nothing better than a little robot fighting, I think.
Thank you. We'll dig more into that. But just around the corner, we have to have a serious talk about the Smithsonian, because I love visiting our nation's capital and seeing some of the great museums. I also happen to love the Library of Congress. If you've not been there, you can get a library card if you're an American citizen, and you should have one for the Library of Congress, greatest library in the world, maybe in the country, if you ask me. In the country and maybe in the world. I should have straightened that out. So we'll get our guest joining us just around the corner, Alan Mendenhall. And if you want to join the conversation as well, 855-839-1210. It's Opelka on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
When you go on vacation, does it make sense to have someone else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement but don't have a plan customized to your goals, that's kind of like taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in your suitcase. Seems like a stressful way to start what should be a relaxing time. Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to help reduce future taxes, along with a clearly defined income strategy. Call Jim at 610-894-7415 for your complimentary retirement game plan, or visit retirereadyfg.com. That's 610-894-7415.
Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
Energy consumption by data centers is a major issue confronting further expansion, and NVIDIA is hoping to solve that issue in a potential collaboration with Japan's Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. Nikkei News reports that NVIDIA is looking to use Mitsubishi's cooling systems and energy management equipment in AI data centers, with the high-efficiency systems crucial for NVIDIA achieving maximum processor performance. I'm Jason Brooks.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
Hey, John, why so glum? I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits. Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Progressive Insurance. Progressive can protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. In short, a lot of things. Bundle today at progressive.com.
Now back to the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
This is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
It is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Mike Opelka with you. Happy to be here. I'm thrilled to be back here. I kind of made my return last week after a brief hiatus from doing radio, but I am back in full force, and thanks to everybody who's joined us and hung out with us. The robot segment, very interesting, and yet we're taking a very serious turn as we change lanes in the show today. It's 4:33. By the way, this is an incredible Monday. I know we might get some rain tomorrow, but if you've got time today, take the show out with you and spend the rest of the show outside. You'll thank me for it later. We talked earlier about some of the great stuff about Washington, D.C. and our nation's capital, which is now a lot safer and a lot cleaner thanks to this administration. I used to take the train from from Delaware down to D.C. all the time for my work at theblaze.com. And when you get out of the Union Station, you had to get through a gauntlet of homeless people just to get to the cab stand or get to wherever you were going to walk the 2 blocks to the Capitol. You had to kind of fend for yourself as you got through the zombies, and that's not there anymore. The fountains are working. The graffiti is gone. And ultimately, the reflecting pool will be repaired. We will see. But there are great places on the mall that you should visit. Yes, you should see the Capitol. Yes, you should stop by the Supreme Court. You should get your library card at the Library of Congress. But the Smithsonian is one of those places that I just think it's so important to visit and understand it and see it. However, it appears that we weren't paying attention to the Smithsonian, and it may have gotten infested with some progressivism in a couple of places. And to better understand it, we tapped on the shoulders of Alan Mendenhall, the research fellow at the Rowe Institute, a senior advisor for the Free Enterprise Initiative at the Heritage Foundation, our friends at Heritage helping us out today. Alan, thank you for being here. Welcome to the program, sir. I also want to salute you for a piece you have out on social media, or a piece that's online. I saw you plug it on social media about the Antonin Scalia book from James Rosen. I am 2/3 of the way through it. It's one of my favorite books this year so far. So I think we're on the same page, my friend. Welcome.
I think so, too. Great book. Yeah, and thanks for having me. I can actually look out the window where I am right this second and see Union Station and those fountains that you're talking about.
It's amazing because it seems like for a decade they weren't working, and it really was an obstacle course to get through and around the various and sundry versions of crazy people that were there for the longest time.
Yeah, that's all been cleaned up. We still have some crazy people outside the Heritage Foundation. I just a few minutes before we came on, all these weird protesters just kind of dispersed. But I was afraid they were going to be in the part of this interview because they were making so much racket out there. But that's a little different from the homeless problem.
I don't mind that. Now, do you at your place? You are just a couple blocks, I know, from the Library of Congress, from the Supreme Court, just around the corner. Do you regularly get protests at Heritage?
Oh, we get them all the time. And they're horrifying. They they've yelled things at me about raping my children, and they use horrible profanity, and they get out their megaphones and say just some of the most disgusting things you'll ever imagine people saying to another human being. You would think that this type of rhetoric would be discrediting, but for some reason they think it is helpful, and I have no idea why, because I can't see why anyone would find it attractive.
Yeah, or to be changing someone's mind. Usually, being the free speech thing in this country is truly one of the greatest gifts the founders gave us, that First Amendment that allows us to have that ability to raise our voices. But I never understood yelling insults at people in an effort to change their mind. I don't know if anyone's ever made a person change their opinion by telling them they hope they sleep with the soul of their dead grandmother or whatever the hell they're yelling at.
Yeah,
it sounds crazy.
You're totally right. That's why we have to appeal to argumentation and principles and reason to make our points. And it's a little disgusting to see some of the things that were going on outside this window, but fortunately they are gone. Otherwise, this would have been a rowdy interview.
Well, see, I would have enjoyed that because I like radio verite, and I would have called on you to be my reporter on the street, sharing with us. The next time I'm there, I may bounce on by and say hello because just to see if there's anything crazy going on. Which usually you can find a protest out that's outside the Supreme Court during the last usually May and June.
Into June, yeah.
It's always protest season. Now, we got to talk about the Smithsonian and this 162-page report, Saving America's Story, that the White House Domestic Policy Council put out. I'm a huge fan of the Smithsonian. We were talking about its beginnings. A British guy decided we needed to have this fund to start the Smithsonian and put up a few $1,000s hundreds of years ago. The Smithsonian's budget's got to be pretty gigantic at this point, does it not? It's got to be hundreds of millions of dollars in terms of what goes into keeping the Smithsonian afloat.
Yeah, and it enjoys over $1 billion per year in taxpayer funding, which is a lot of money. And unlike, an executive branch or executive agency, this is formed as a trust, so the president can't control it. And that means to make changes, you have to operate underneath this board of regents. And there are ex officio members, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and the Vice President, whoever they may be in any given time. And then you have 3 senators, 3 members of the House, and 9 citizens that are just, selected from wherever. And that's who comprise the Board of Regents. And that's really where you would try to make changes, because right now, Congress is so gridlocked that you're not going to see anybody passing meaningful legislation to, amend the Smithsonian's governing statutes or reform the composition of the Board of Regents or, do particular audits every, such and such months to ensure that the quality of the exhibits or whatever. You're just not going to see that from Congress. So you've got to kind of lean on the Board of Regents. Of course, Trump issued an executive order that enabled this report to come out, which is sort of like the extent of what he can do from his office. And so now it's kind of up to, I would say, J.D. Vance, who's part of the Board of Regents, to really try to push something. But again, if you look at that composition, of the senators, you've got 2 Democratic senators and only 1 Republican senator. You do have 2 Republican members of the House and 1 Democrat, so they kind of offset in terms of at least R&D. But with the composition of the Board of Regents as it is now, I don't think you'd see any change there. But I guess I should talk about what is actually going on in the Smithsonian. Some of it is what you would probably expect, given that it mirrors academia, where it's hard to find a doctoral program where you can get a good professor who studies the American founding these days. I have several professor friends, because I came from higher ed. I was associate dean of a business school for 5 years. I was associate dean of a law school before that. I'm a lawyer with a PhD in English. I spent most of my career in higher education. And I have a lot of friends who are historians, and they are interested in American history but could never find a good professor to study under for a doctoral program, because there are no more like Forrest McDonald's or something out there. So when you look at this report, and it's criticizing the Smithsonian for having little attention to Thomas Jefferson or George Washington or the founding generation, or shockingly, the Declaration of Independence, and I say shockingly because it's the semi-quincentennial now, it is something that sort of mirrors higher ed. Now, even more problematic, in my view, is how these exhibits are presenting American history through this prism that is essentially Marxist. And I know that's going to sound probably hyperbolic to some people, but hear me out. Classical Marxism had this framework of oppressors versus oppressed. And the bourgeoisie, the owners, were the oppressors, and the proletariat, the workers, were the oppressed. And when the workers never fulfilled the sort of secular eschatology of Marxism, when the workers never revolted and overthrew the bourgeoisie, then a lot of the Marxists got together and said, well, what's going on here? What do we do here? And so people like Gramsci decide that they need to focus on culture, because clearly culture is shaping people's beliefs. And so that means we Marxists, this is what they were saying, need to focus on things like schools and universities and the media and entertainment to make sure that our ideas are circulating through those, because that's where people are sort of conditioned to follow a particular belief set.
Well,
and in fact, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say I'm interested in that, but I'm also interested in how. And I want to put this in a little more street terms here. You remember, you're talking to Philly guys.
Yeah.
You got to bring it down to street level for me. When we look at what's going on inside the Smithsonian, it feels like there's been an infestation of wokeness, or an infestation of the left's thinking that makes America, especially in terms of the stories of our founders, to be more focused on the negative aspects. For example, talking about how Benjamin Franklin is called a racist and was anti-immigrant, and how Hamilton is given the short shrift, and how we're looked at. The Smithsonian is not leaning towards American exceptionalism, but what's wrong with America, kind of in league with the 1619 Project. Is that a fair estimate?
That's a completely fair estimate. The 1619 Project was, in fact, used in the material at the Smithsonian, as were materials from the Southern Poverty Law Center, which is obviously under federal indictment and being investigated by even the Attorney General's office in the state of Alabama, in addition to the feds. So they're using SPLC stuff. They are encouraging this sort of activism by young people. They are spreading ideas of gender fluidity and transgenderism. They are discussing women and girls as transgender athletes. So they're treating men, biological men, as if they were women, and sort of strongly suggesting that that's okay for men to participate in women's sports. They have all kinds of stuff about immigration and immigrants, and even featured videos by people giving their testimony who are illegal immigrants about what happened when they were when they were arrested, or when they were approached by law enforcement about their illegal status. And this is clearly meant to. Yeah, go ahead.
Meant to wokeify us. Instead of focusing on the nation that was built by immigrants, they're now trying to take a political angle on this and bend the history as we know it towards the 1619 Project and the left. Is this because of the board from the aspect of these 9 citizens, and how do I get on the board? How do we make this happen for me, Alan Mendenhall? Because I think I can get inside that board and put my foot down so there won't be any wokeness. Who picks those people?
Yeah, I don't know who actually appoints the people. That's a good question, and I should look that up. But they have significant authority. But for example, they can appoint the secretary of the Smithsonian, and they do things like approve the strategic vision, and they oversee the finances and stuff. But what they really don't do is micromanage the exhibits and curate what gets put out there for everyone to look at. And look, if you look at the report that is out there criticizing the ideological capture, it's actually pretty nuanced. It's not saying don't teach anything bad about American history. It's just saying, subjects like slavery shouldn't be discussed. On the contrary, it says they should be, but all these things need to be presented with more than one view, rather than just this sort of it's got to be some kind of balance, and it's not just.
We all know that our history is checkered. We all know the early days of this country, there were things that we certainly wouldn't allow today, but that's the reason why we changed it, because what made sense or what was part of the customs years ago is not today, and we shouldn't be paying for those crimes today in terms of whatever's going on in the world. This piece is kind of interesting. It's in the Wall Street Journal on the opinion page, how the Smithsonian lost America's plot. A great angle to take, because I believe the Smithsonian, especially on days like today when we're talking about America, the only country that put people on the moon and brought them home safely multiple times, and we'll do it again, should be represented as that exceptional country without hiding or burying some of the problems we had. But it seems like the alternate is what's happening. The problems are being put in the front, and we're being told that we must wear a hair shirt and whip ourselves in public to say we're evil, we're America. I think it's the other way around. Alan,
I like to say teach American history, warts and all, but not all warts.
I like that. Teach American history, warts and all, but not all warts. That's true. Well done. Alan Mendenhall, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mendenhall, for being here today. And next time you get a protest outside the studio, outside of the offices at Heritage, just call us, because we'd like to carry it live. I like running into the fire on those occasions. It's
all
good
right.
times.
Well, I'll let you know.
Thank you. And on behalf of my friend James Rosen, thanks for the nice plug of his book, too. It's a great book as well. But
it is a great book.
We appreciate you for being there. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
There he goes. I am a geek when it comes to this country and our history, and I do think experiencing Washington, D.C. from that level, just like you say, experiencing Philadelphia and going and taking the tour to see the Liberty Bell, which you should do, or to see the room where they wrote the Declaration of Independence, and go see it in the summer when you realize how hot it was when these guys were working there. I think that experience is good. I don't know, DeSantis, if I've ever been on a radio show where the term secular eschatology was used in the past.
It's a first for this show, I can tell you that.
Yeah, well, maybe under Scioli. I do think Scioli would be a good person to be on the Smithsonian board, don't you?
I would, yeah. If I had any voting rights, I'd pick him, but nobody cares about my
I
opinion.
would like to be on the board with Scioli, because I'm sure we could stir up some stuff, as it were.
If anybody asks me, I'll tell them I've got 2 names in mind.
Very good. Very good. I hope they do ask you. That would be a good thing. All right, I got to take a break. When we come back, DeSantis, do we go to the crazy video of the girls down south telling us what schools they're going to, or should we go a different direction here?
You know what? I think this is the perfect time for that, because we won't need too much time analyzing it, and we don't have much time left.
Good. All right, so we'll take a break here. If you're not on the YouTube channel, you need to go there now, because I found this video late last week. We ran out of time. We couldn't get to it. It is wonderful and mystifying. And now that I think about it, I wonder if these girls were models for some of those companion robots that we saw earlier. We'll see, and you'll see what I mean. It's Mike Opelka, Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers. And on the sidelines, we cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Don't make the same mistake that I did. I called my insurance company directly and they minimized my claim. Then I called Morano's Public Adjustment Group and they made sure I got paid top dollar. For all your insurance needs, call Morano's Public Adjustment Group at 445-247-8228. That's 445-247-8228. And tell them Mr. Tony sent you.
Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Listen, I know sometimes you worry about coming to see me because you don't want to invest in real estate, because you don't want to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants. I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday, and I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers. And on the sidelines, we cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Here's something you don't hear every day. Employee pricing for everyone. For a limited time only this July, Closet Factory Philadelphia is opening its employee pricing event to everyone. That means incredible savings on custom closets, garages, pantries, home offices, and more. If you've been waiting to organize your home, now's the time. Employee pricing is available this July for a limited time only. Book your free design consultation today at closetfactory.com. That's closetfactory.com.
Now you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
It is 4:54, now 4:55. Mike Opelka with you, Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Hello to everybody in the YouTube chat. I was perusing some of the commentary of the YouTube chat. You are not wrong about Alan and his bow tie. I was telling DeSantis and Justin that the first date I went on with my wife some 35 years ago, I actually showed up with a bow tie. And couple of years later, she told me everything almost stopped when she saw the bow tie. And nothing would have gone further if there would have been a repeat. So I get it. But I thought it was snazzy looking. My wife did not. Chicks don't like the bow ties. Speaking of the chicks, last week I found a very interesting video of Southern girls announcing what colleges they will be attending. And I sent it to DeSantis because it was jaw-dropping to me. And I thought, because we're pretty critical of the young kids because they don't exactly sound smart, and you think, okay, these kids are going to college, so they should have some communication skills. And then again, I might be revising my opinion. DeSantis, your first take when you saw this, what? Give me 2 words, 3 words that you said when you saw this video.
I couldn't help but notice how thick the Southern accent was. That was my first takeaway. It almost sounded like it wasn't real, but I think it very much is.
I see. I thought the same. So, Justin, I'm sure you had the same. Let's go through it and try and stop and start it as each one ends. These are Southern girls announcing what schools they're going to for college.
Hi, my name's Chelsea, and I'm going to University of Arkansas. Woo pig. Hi.
So she said, "Woo pig." And in case you didn't know, she's going to the University of Arkansas. One thing that appears to be universal in these videos, they all wear the shirt of the school and short shorts, apparently. That's the dress code for this video. Well, just let it roll. Let's not stop and start it.
My name's Taylor, and I'm going to the zoo. Go Tigers. Hi, my name's Trina Barker, and I'm going to University of Arkansas. Woo pig.
Hi, I'm Julie, and I'm going to Abilene Christian. Scratch your cat.
Hi, my name is Ella Springfield, and I'm going to Louisiana State University. Go Tigers. Hi, my name is Jada Hall, and I'm going to the University of Arkansas. Woo pig.
Hi, my name is Eva. I'm going to University of Oklahoma. Boom soon, baby.
Hi, my name is Kat, and I'm going to the University of Oklahoma. Boomer sooner.
I'm Cindy Person, and I'm going to Texas Tech University. I'm Claire Jensen, and I'm going to BYU.
Hi, my name is Ryan Ladwick, and I'm going to the University of Arkansas.
My name's Gina Pearson. I'm going to the University of Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner. My name's Reagan.
And my name's Jen.
And we're going to the University
of A&M.
Shock 'em. My name's Maddie Wilson. I'm going to the University of Mississippi. High tide.
My name is Madison. I'm going to Texas Christian University.
I'm going to Texas University.
I think we need diction classes to be added to every freshman course breakdown. Is that too much to ask?
Evidently, this is a big tradition in the South. I did not realize it until you sent me this video, but this is apparently commonplace.
I just wanted to share it with everybody. I'm sure Newman Price said he misses the Southern girl accents. I hope they're taught how to speak once they get to college. That seems wrong. Right now, Greg Stocker's going, why the hell did I bring him back? Why the hell did I bring him back? I promise you the third hour of the show will be equally as challenging to that question, Greg Stocker. Updates on what the president's doing with Iran. There is more breaking news there, plus a couple other crazy stories. It's Mike Opelka. It's Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
You know what I love? American-made products, baby. That's right. It's Rich Zioli. American-made products, and that's what you get from Emmons Roofing and Siding. Owens Corning shingles are made in New Jersey. Certainteed siding made right outside of Philly. Provia windows and doors handcrafted in Ohio. And because Emmons is platinum with Owens Corning, your roof comes with a lifetime workmanship warranty. That's accountability on American-made quality from an American company right in our backyard. EmmonsRoofing.com. EmmonsRoofing.com.
I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor of Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. U.S. and Iran are entering a second week of renewed strikes. An attack by Iran at a U.S. base in Jordan killed 2 U.S. service members. A dignified transfer will take place tomorrow in Delaware. President Trump will attend. The war is fueling hostilities and uncertainty for oil and gas prices. ABC's Karen Travers has more.
We're now seeing gas going back to that $4 a gallon average, according to AAA. Traffic in the Strait of Hormuz has essentially slowed down significantly again because of this week and a half now of ongoing strikes. There were 30 verified crossings in the Strait of Hormuz over the last 3 days, according to data.
In Ocean Springs, Mississippi, family and friends gathered at a memorial service for Nolan Wells. The 18-year-old died while on a boating trip to Horn Island with friends on 4th of July weekend. He did not return with his friends. The family is calling for justice and a transparent investigation. A former U.S. Army veteran is in custody after the FBI says he targeted Manhattan's federal building that houses immigration court and other agencies. He's accused of dousing an outdoor stairwell with gasoline and igniting it with a firework. ABC's Aaron Katursky has more.
They identified Andrew Arabaka as the suspect, 43 years old, lives in Poughkeepsie, New York, upstate, with an address also in Harlem. And it turns out that he served in the United States Army for 4 years between 2001 and 2005, worked on Patriot missile systems during that time in the service. And at some point, according to the authorities, he became anti-government, anti-ICE.
In Madrid, jubilation as fans welcome their FIFA World Cup champions following Spain's epic World Cup victory against defending champions Argentina yesterday. Crowds filled the streets for the parade for players and to get a glimpse of the World Cup trophy. You're listening to ABC News.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments. Just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
These days, heading back to school means more than pencils and notebooks. It means laptops, tablets, online accounts, and a lot of personal information moving across the internet. WebRoot Total Protection gives families powerful online defense tools with antivirus, VPN, cloud backup, identity protection, and more, helping keep your digital life secure throughout the school year and beyond. Go to webroot.com/radio and get 60% off today. That's webroot.com/radio for 60% off. Live a better digital life with WebRoot, because peace of mind shouldn't be optional.
I'm Lindsay Davis. For the latest on today's headlines, be sure to watch Prime tonight, starting at 7 Eastern on ABC News Live. Now with more news, here's Michelle Franzen.
A new setback in that massive lettuce recall amid the nationwide cyclosporiasis outbreak.
The FDA now says the one sample of Taylor Farms lettuce that had tested positive for the parasite was a false positive, but the recall is still on. Taylor Farms is pulling dozens of products sourced from central Mexico and distributed across 27 states, including bagged lettuce sold at Walmart under the Market Side brand. Health officials have already linked more than 1,600 illnesses to shredded iceberg lettuce served at Taco Bell locations in 5 states.
ABC's Hannah Battah. A federal judge setting former Olympian David Hearn's trial date for September 28th in the felony case for allegedly damaging the reflecting pool at the Lincoln Memorial.
Hearn's lawyers argue that the case should be dismissed, in part because the Trump administration's repairs to the reflecting pool have altered evidence in the case. Writing, quote, "The Constitution simply does not permit the government to charge a man with destroying an object, retain exclusive custody of that object, then drain, disturb, and alter that object before the defense may examine it." The Trump administration poured more than $16 million into renovating the reflecting pool and has blamed issues with it, including the sealant peeling and algae overtaking the water, on vandals without providing evidence.
ABC's Peter Harlambous. An epic weekend for Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's adaptation, making a $264 million worldwide. Michelle Franzen.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments. Just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless-leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks, like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 267-223-7162 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. Call 267-223-7162 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 267-223-7162 for fast, easy, and affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinic treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 267-223-7162.
WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Always live. Drive on the free Odyssey app. Now, The Drive at 5. 30 minutes of nonstop talk from Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Turn it up, crank the dial. Mike Opelka is back to make you smile. He's the voice that cuts right through. Back on 1210, Opelka's here for you. The truth has no agenda, and neither does he. So kick back and enjoy the show on WPHT. Mike Opelka's in your town.
Yes, I am here. I'm here, and I'm ready to go. It's 5:07 on this Monday. Happy Monday to you. Kicking off a week. I'm here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 3 days this week, and then hopefully back again soon. We shall see. We shall see. A lot going on. I mentioned there's an update on the kinetic action, also known as war, in Iran. President Trump saying that the Iranians will pay many times over for taking the lives of 3 of our American service personnel, which happened over the weekend, possibly 4. If you were listening when we had Rich Kolko on earlier, our security expert, former Navy fighter pilot and FBI agent, was talking about the situation in New York City with the kinetic action there. A guy blew up ignited an incendiary device in New York City and was immediately grabbed by all the security guards and the cops, and there was an officer there with a dog. The canines were out, so we'll see what the heck was going on there. But Rich and I we're talking about that at 3:30 today, in case you missed it. But the president is headed to, I think he's headed to all-out destruction of what's left of Iran. Although Rich Kolko told us the word was the Iranian leader, the one that Jesse Waters calls him the gay Ayatollah that we thought was deceased, that he may have fled the country already. If that's true, and the country is now under the control of a splinter group of the Iranian military, the Republican Guard as they are known, that could turn things in a very different direction very quickly. We will see what's happening there. But I know the president very, very disturbed by the loss of life. So Gold Star families, never a good thing to have happen. Checking local news, local headlines to see what the heck's happening. Citizen Bank says it has ended lending to private prison companies used by ICE. Really? Really, Citizens Bank? You want to play this game? You're debanking any private prison company that is used by ICE. I don't know if that's going to be a good move. ICE is a legitimate law enforcement operation. Just saying, maybe you should rethink that. But doubtful they're going to. If they've gone public with it, they've already probably war-gamed it out to sea. I'm trying to see if there's any other big deal stories that are bubbling here. I don't care about the 1939 throwback jerseys for the Phillies game on August 13th. Justin, you're more into the sports than I. Do you give a rat's patoot about this?
I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's an era of throwbacks we haven't really gotten before. So, I mean, I like it. I'm a big fan of it.
See, this troubles me because this just smacks of the companies who are trying to just make money by selling merch.
Oh, 1,000%. It's for merch. But, it's an area of the Phillies' history that's really not all that explored. So I like them, instead of just always running back the powder blues, which I love to death, I like something different. It's something new that's old.
See, I feel like they're soaking the fans.
Oh, they 100%. They got him with all the odd. I was a sucker and bought a regular Phillies hat just because it had an All-Star Game patch on it. So they also got me for the 250th 4th of July hat. So they've got me twice. They're probably going to get me a third time for this Field of Dreams game. I am the sucker that the MLB wants.
Set the hook and reel him in, guys.
You got me.
Here's your guy. Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I guess I'm probably the same way with golf stuff because I'll probably pick up. I do have a 250th America golf hat and golf balls with flags on that say 250. So why not? I guess I should not throw stones at you over this. A couple other stories that we're keeping our eyes on, other than the president saying we're going to basically unleash hell. I know it's not Russell Crowe on his command, unleash hell. There's some other crazy political stories I have to share with you. In the news, we had the report that the Taylor Lettuce Company, that's the company from out in California, that on Friday we were told that they were the source, right, of the explosive diarrhea outbreak. And then over the weekend, the CDC says, well, maybe it was a false positive. And so we're not going to demand the recall, but the lettuce company is doing it. As a sidebar to this, there is a politician in Texas who may have come up with the worst idea for political fundraising ever. And if you've got a better story, tell me. DeSantis, do you know the Texas politician Sarah McGee? Has that name ring a bell for you?
I don't know her, no.
Okay. She is a Democrat, not a shock, because this is a bad idea. So usually those come from Democrats. And she initially posted this on Act Blue, or wanted to do the fundraising on Act Blue, which is Twitter for those who are neurodivergent, meaning Democrats. And she posted the following. It's since been deleted because she realized how stupid this was. She posted, I have the lettuce disease. Now, first of all, I had not heard that it was called the lettuce disease up until this point. But Sarah McGee, she's trying to get a Texas State House position. I have the lettuce disease, which, as a youngish, healthy person, is fine. But caution should be taken in traffic. So I guess if you have explosive diarrhea, you shouldn't be going in the car anywhere. I guess that's what she's saying. She said, I started to type out my entire morning ordeal, but decided instead to hang on to it for a minute. DeSantis, have you ever been hit by explosive diarrhea and instantly thought, I should put this on my social media? I should give the details to everyone who follows me.
Some people would run straight to the bathroom. I go right for my iPhone and log on to X, yeah.
Well, they multitasking. If you got good Wi-Fi, you could probably take it with you into the bathroom. But she, Sarah McGee, Democrat from Texas, decided she was going to push pause on that idea to type it out because in her mind, she saw this as a campaign fundraising tool. Right? I mean, that's immediately where your mind went, right? Campaign.
I was surprised someone hadn't thought of it sooner, yeah.
Explosive diarrhea, campaign fundraising. How are those not connected in previous administrations or in previous campaigns? I don't know. She writes in the same post, if I raise $5,000 in the next 48 hours, I will post the story of my experience with cyclosporosis and the men's bathroom at Whataburger. So you think it's a good idea to tell us if we donate money to your campaign that you will share the details of your explosive diarrhea and how apparently you had this in a men's bathroom at a Whataburger? And, just to entice us even further, she said, oh, by the way, it's good. Like Amazon review good. Wait a minute. What's good? Having explosive diarrhea or the story that you're going to tell about having? And then she said, only you, potential donor, can make this happen. On what planet does this woman think sharing the details of her explosive diarrhea is going to entice people to part with their money for campaign finance for her stupid campaign for Texas House seat inside the Texas legislature.
I'll give her money if she doesn't share any details.
See, that would have been the better thing. If you people don't pony up, I'm going to start giving you the details for my explosive diarrhea. Just unbelievable. This everything you need to know about the problems inside the Democratic Party is in this post from this woman. Her first instinct is to tell everybody, if you give me money, I'm going to tell you about the poopy pants problem I had. And by the way, it happened in the men's bathroom in a great burger joint, which is what Whataburger is. If you've never been to Whataburger. Hey, did you have a Whataburger when you drove across the country, DeSantis?
Yeah, we actually had one right near us in Scottsdale.
Very good. That's a good burger. It's a decent burger, isn't it?
I rarely disagree with you on food, Mike. I didn't see the hype. I thought it was fine. Like, I didn't hate it or anything, but I didn't think it was as good as In-N-Out. I didn't think it was as good as McDonald's. McDonald's is my favorite, as everyone knows. It was fine.
Wow. I'd say I think the closer you get to the Whataburger mothership in Texas, probably the better.
I do wonder if it was just maybe a bad Whataburger that I went to.
It could be. See, I always think you got to go to the source. You got to find the source on things. Was it Newman Price said, what a crappy idea. No, everyone's having fun in the YouTube chat. It's just so bizarre that I would question the judgment of this woman if she were my elected official. But she's running for office, so maybe the people in Texas will make the right choice. She has since taken it down, but thank God the internet is forever. That she will never live this down, is just to say. Wow. Very good. The other things that happened this weekend, we did get into a little bit on the replacement for Graham Plattner. Did we play any of? I didn't share with you the story about the nipple Nazi's out. He's already dropped out, and the council of 500. I thought it was 600 last week. Apparently, there are 500 delegates who are voting on which of the main candidates we played last week from that debate will be chosen to represent Maine in the Senate seat. And over the weekend, they voted, and one candidate seems to have gotten the lion's share, like 470 plus of the 500 votes from the council got it. And DeSantis, do you have the clip from the one guy who dresses as a woman? Do we have that clip handy?
Ashley Webb, give me 1 second. We can grab it from Friday's show.
Yeah, because I think this was my favorite clip from Friday. It was Ashley Webb, the candidate who kind of looks like if Meatloaf had a trans kid and was running for office. Ashley Webb was one of the 8 people that got up in front of God and everybody and tried to appeal to the Committee of 500 to be selected. So the Calshi people, the prediction people, gave Ashley Webb a 1% chance to win the nomination. Let me know when you get it.
Clip is ready.
Okay, let's roll this clip. This was Ashley Webb.
Ashley Webb, what qualifications do you have to serve in the U.S. Senate?
Oh, I ran for office several times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books. And then I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people, and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now.
And I would do anything for votes, but I won't do that. Yeah, Ashley Webb did not win the 470 votes of the Committee of 500. Who did? Who did score the biggest lion's share? Someone named Troy Jackson. Troy Jackson is a Democrat socialist who is almost guaranteed to get the nod to this insider appointment to replace Graham Plattner on the ballot, running up against Susan Collins, who currently has that seat. The Democrats really wanted that seat. Now, who is Troy Jackson? I said he's a Democrat socialist. Well, it turns out that Jackson might have a little bit of a problem. Yeah, the The guy was under ethics review from the state of Maine. He's been in state politics for some time now. In 2019, he purchased a home in Augusta, Maine, 200 miles from his district. His district is in Allagash, Maine. So he bought a home 200 miles from his district. And apparently it happens with a lot of the Mainers, a lot of the Maine lawmakers. They have an apartment near the State House in Augusta. But he bought the home using an FHA loan, a Federal Housing Association loan that was for low-income first home buyers. And that requires you to make your house your primary residence. So in order to get this low-interest loan that this guy got, you had to say, okay, this is my primary residence. There's an occupancy clause in there, and it's on the closing papers. You have to take a pen. You have to check it off. Turns out that that's not really true. So he may have, depending on your interpretation, lied on a mortgage document to get a cheap loan, which would be mortgage fraud. And the only reason we know that he did this is because when he bought the house, he and his longtime girlfriend, Lana Pelletier, sued the previous couple, the previous owners, an older couple that sold them the house. And they alleged deception. They said they were deceived, claiming that the sellers withheld details about the house like smoke damage and bug infestation. Well, it went to court, and the sellers were able to supply information showing that all of this was disclosed. And this guy's lawsuit was thrown out. It said, hey, this is bogus, you're done. And at the same time, while he was presenting his case, it was discovered that he had filed for an insurance claim for said damage that he claimed happened before he owned the house. So claiming damage that happened before you bought the house and then claiming that damage happened after you bought the house and the policy started means he either lied in the lawsuit, which is perjury, or he lied to an insurance company, which is insurance fraud, or he committed mortgage fraud. So this guy already has a problem, but he's likely to be the candidate. We will see. Either way, at the end of the road here, this is another one of the Democrats, socialists who's out there. And this weekend, Bernie Sanders and AOC were out on the campaign trail stomping for the guy up in Michigan, Abdul, who is running for he's in a Senate primary in Michigan, trying to get his name on the ballot coming up for the midterms. And Bernie Sanders was there whipping up the Democrat socialist fervor and frankly sounding rather energetic for a man his age.
And brothers and sisters, that is why progressives have been defeating establishment candidates all across the country. And the oligarchs are getting nervous.
There it is, oligarchy mentioned.
And they should be getting nervous. Within the last year, we have won mayor's races in New York City, Zohran Mamdani. We've won mayor's races in Seattle, Washington, Washington, D.C. We have won congressional elections and Democratic primaries in Arizona, Ohio, Pennsylvania, California, Montana, Colorado, New Jersey, and New York.
The cough worries me about Bernie. I think he's having some issues there. Maybe he just needs a lozenge. But the reality here is the Democratic Socialists are starting to feel their oats, and they're feeling very confident because they're winning elections. Now, New York City's a big one to win. Granted, it's a very big one to win. And California, it looks like a mayor's race because of the way the deck was stacked. A socialist will win. Either it's Karen Bass or the other one, the woman who knocked Spencer Pratt out after the 7-week recount happened out there. Nithya Raman, thank you. I keep wanting to think that I was always calling her the noodle lady because of ramen noodles. Is that wrong? That might be wrong. So Bernie and AOC were there, and AOC was also stumping in Memphis, Tennessee. And when she got to Memphis, I think once you cross the Mason-Dixon line as a Democrat candidate, if you're out campaigning for yourself or for somebody else, it's obligatory that you fall into an accent, right? And so AOC fell into some kind of an accent.
We cannot afford to leave Tennessee behind. We cannot afford to leave Kentucky behind, Alabama behind, Mississippi behind, Georgia behind, South Carolina behind.
I believe she also called Ayanna Pressley Sister Presley. And she talked about brothers and sisters. She's affecting a Southern accent. This little Bronx girl, or Sandy from the Bronx, is affecting a Southern voice. Do we have any other examples of previous Democrat women doing just that?
We will have 1 and 2 seconds. Sorry.
Okay, very good. Because this is kind of standard fare. Once you're down there, you immediately try and put this accent on. I give Bernie credit. The one thing Bernie Sanders does not do, he doesn't change who Bernie Sanders is. He will forever be Bernie Sanders. He will always be Bernie Sanders who combs his hair with some kind of rake and really never tells a lie, but he doesn't change his accent. You know, it's always the oligarchy is it's got the money and politics that must be taken out. Bernie, I don't think he could do a Southern accent if he wanted to. But the women of the party, the AOCs and the Hillary Clintons and the Kamala Harrises, all of a sudden suddenly become Southern when they're out on the campaign trail. Do you have it, or do we need to roll on? All right, so roll what you got.
Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
Nobody told me the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
Yeah, they're reading a famous poem, but they also put their little Southern interpretation on it. It's crazy stuff. It's absolutely crazy stuff, and they think we don't notice. See, I as a voter would be insulted by it. I have a thought about the Democrat socialists and how and why they're being allowed to rise up right now. I think the Democrats are okay with this. I'll share my reason with you just after the break. We'll take a break here. You want to join the conversation, you can. 855-839-1210. It's Mike Opelka and on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You don't need another opinion, just the facts.
What caused that crash on the Schuylkill? Will it rain before the kids' game? What happened at the school board meeting last night?
At KYW News Radio, we don't take sides. We take notes, delivering the information you need to make the best decisions for your family.
The news you need whenever you need it.
Depend on KYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news leader for more than 60 years.
Are you tired of climbing over that dirty, old, slippery tub? Your bathtub should be beautiful, functional, and safe. PJ Fitzpatrick is pleased to offer the Jacuzzi Shower System, installed in just one day, featuring low entry thresholds and designer walls and fixtures. You'll step right into luxury. Plus, PJ is offering a free shower seat and safety bars for all customers this month. Schedule your free design consultation at trustpj.com.
This is the sound of Lucy, staying on top of her spending. You see, even though she's buying a new pair of jeans, she knows that it fits within her monthly budget. Because Wells Fargo will send an alert if her balance drops below her set amount. Yep, nothing gets past Lucy, or Wells Fargo for that matter. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
The fireworks aren't just in the sky. They're on our lot this July. At Tri-County Toyota, get explosive savings like a new 2026 Toyota Tundra with 2.99% APR financing. Don't wait for the finale. These deals go boom and then they're gone. Visit us at 15 D&L Drive or online at TriCountyToyota.com. 3 counties, 1 priority. You with approved credit. Final price includes a $4.90 doc fee. Expires August 3rd, 2026.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
Progressive Insurance. Protect your family, your phone, and your furry friends with life, electronic device, and pet health insurance.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Auto Group studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
I'm sorry, I had to adjust. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, I had to get up off my chair. My wheel had gotten caught in my headphones. All kinds of craziness going on here. It's Mike Opelka with you on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. I cannot believe how quickly today's gotten away from us. Today's been a very busy day as we're once again striking harder in Iran. I do think President Trump is now going to try and put the squeeze on who's ever in charge of Iran, especially after we had 3 troops, possibly 4 members of our military killed in this action. I heard a ghoulish and gleeful ABC News report that sounded like they were excited that the number of members of our military killed so far since the beginning of the Iran war is now up to 18. It just seems like they're a little too excited about that. And that's, God, have a heart for the families when you report this stuff, Leslie Stahl. Some breaking news today, and we should talk about this. Lindsey Graham, as I said, has been dead for about 10 days now. Sadly lost Lindsey Graham to a heart condition. His aorta, I guess, was torn. He was probably not going to make it no matter what they did. Somebody said it's the same thing that killed John Ritter. Remember the actor, funny man, John Ritter, who apparently was in a rehearsal when his aortic tear happened. And they say you're usually gone before you hit the floor. So maybe Lindsey Graham wouldn't have been able to be saved, but he's gone now, and his sister was tapped to fill the rest of his term, and she made an announcement today regarding whether or not she's going to be a candidate. Can we roll that announcement, please?
The president again saying, I hope Darlene does this, meaning I hope you will get. And here's the filing deadline for people that don't know, and these are just the laws of South Carolina. The filing begins tomorrow. I think you have a week.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And by that time, the funerals won't even have taken place.
I know.
And then the president's putting an ask on you, we'll put it that way. It's a lot of pressure.
It is a tremendous amount of pressure.
Tell me what's going through your head about it, and where do you stand now?
I'll continue to say I've been praying a lot, talking to my family, but with the love of my family, with the support of his staff. I know I'm a hard worker. I learned that from Lindsey. He cared about the people of this state. I've worked for almost 30 years for the people of this state.
I want to talk about that in a minute.
I feel like I can do it. I feel an inner peace about it. Will it be difficult? Yes, absolutely.
So you're inclined to get in, or have you even made a final decision?
I've made a decision.
You're in.
I'm in.
Final answer. You got final answer. I'm in. First of all, I haven't seen Sean Hannity in a long time. I thought that was his father. I don't watch a lot of Hannity, and he's an old friend. I haven't seen him in a long time. I didn't realize his hair was all gray. I'm going on record as saying I don't know who the other candidates are. I don't know if they've been announced. I'm not a fan of this kind of passing the torch to a family member. We watched this in Michigan for probably 100 years. Debbie Dingell is the latest person with that last name to hold a congressional seat in Michigan. And the seat had been held by her husband before that. And before that, his father had held the seat. It was held so long by somebody with the last name Dingell, it became known as the Dingell seat, which to me is just incorrect. I know this is a very compressed process for South Carolina to have some sort of primary, but it seems like replacing Lindsey Graham, who had a ton of experience in working around and through the Senate, as well as his experience in the military, as well as his legal knowledge, I'm really not thrilled with this. DeSantis, do we have a list of any other names who've raised their hands and said they would like to be? Oh, yeah, Nancy Mace said yes, right?
Yeah, she's kind of like flirted with the idea on social media, although I can't imagine she actually runs considering how poorly she did in the gubernatorial primary just last month. I think, finished 5th.
Yes, she finished 5th, which you're not even on the podium, Nancy Mace. And Nancy Mace, a very attractive person in person, I will tell you that. But I think we've learned there's a little bit of cray-cray somewhere in the Nancy Mace DNA. Is that a safe assessment?
That is a safe assessment. And then on top of that, Donald Trump doesn't like her. And I think the governor primary kind of proved that you do need Trump's endorsement in South Carolina if you want any chance of winning, and she's never getting it. So
there was some question, speaking of people Donald Trump doesn't like very much, that Nikki Haley might be raising her hand for this position. Has that even been brought up, do you know?
That would be interesting, although I've not seen it. I think she'd have a really tough time winning for the same reason Nancy Mace would struggle. She wouldn't get the Trump endorsement, and I think Nancy Mace is crazy enough maybe to give it a shot. I don't think Nikki Haley is.
Well, Nancy Mace is out, right? Because she's not going to be reelected as the House seat.
She won't hold that House seat after 2026.
Yeah, so Nancy Mace has no job. So what would it hurt her to run? She's got to be thinking, I got nothing else going on. I might as well do this. So we will see. But nobody else of any political significance of the Republican Party has raised their hand. And Lindsey Graham had a 5-point lead over, I believe, the woman who was assumed to be running against him for the Democrats or had won the primary for the Democrats. So it looked like Lindsey Graham was in good stead. If the Republicans don't come up with a good candidate, is there a chance that this seat could be at risk?
Yeah, no way. I don't think Annie Andrews is swiping that seat from a Republican.
Well, we'll see. That's something to keep our eyes on. Nothing against Lindsey Graham's sister, but just because you have the same DNA doesn't mean you get an automatic pass. It's not a. I'm not into a dingle seat.
By the way, this is an interesting little statistic. So Annie Andrews, the Dem nominee, she ran for the 1st Congressional District House seat in South Carolina, which is held by Nancy Mace, and she lost in 2022.
Wow. So she doesn't really have a good record there as well.
Nope. Yeah.
Wow. So she lost to Nancy Mace, who finished 5th in the gubernatorial primary.
Yeah, so that Senate seat should be safe Republican.
I don't know. I want to on the subject of midterms. I know you don't have a video clip on this, but I have an audio clip on this. In terms of looking at the midterms, there was a poll that came out early today, a midterm poll that was from the Washington Post and CNBC. Put this together, and they had an interesting take on favorability when you just look at Republican or Democrat. And if we were to go back to January of this year, you would say the midterms, the thing's going straight. The House is going straight to the Democrats. There's no way in hell you're going to hold on to it. Well, Harry Enton, that's a person, not a skin condition. Harry Enton on CNN this morning talking about the polling data.
They show a big worry sign, at least compared to history, because I want to take it back through the history machine. I want to note, okay, House National July, CNBC, Washington Post poll average, midterm years. This is the generic ballot, right? Where were we back in 2006 when, of course, Democrats would go back on to win the House? They were up by 12 in an average of those two polls. How about 2018? They were up by an average of 10 in those two polls. Look at where that average is now. Well less than half of either the level of 2018 and 2006. Way down there. Yes, they're ahead, but they're ahead. I have to shrink down on the screen. They're ahead by only 4 points, which is significantly less than what we saw in 2018 and 2006 when Democrats took back the House. So, as I said, this is an this is a warning sign. While, yes, Democrats are ahead, not by anywhere near the margin they were in prior wave years.
And it also appears that the Democrats are within the margin of error, the favorability of a Democrat over Republican. It's like a 3 percentage points. So this is really close. Now, affordability is going to weigh heavily here. The affordability issue is certainly going to drive how the campaigns go, and you will see that brought up. The other side of this is, how are Republican voters who supported Trump in 2024 going to show up and turn out and vote in the midterms? And what about those independents? Harry Enton, again, it's an actual person, not a skin condition, on CNN, talking about the results of this new poll from CNBC and the Washington Post as it relates to the midterms.
Okay, the Washington Post CNBC poll lead, it's 4 on average, right?
Right.
But what about needed to control with redistricting? You need probably a 3 to 4 point victory nationwide in the national House vote in order to get a House majority. You are right on the edge with this 4 point lead in the average of the CNBC Washington Post polls, right on the edge of even getting that majority. And that's why I said this is a very worrisome sign. This is troublesome for Democrats because despite all of Donald Trump's unpopularity in the polls, they do not seem to be building an advantage that guarantees them the House or anything close to a guarantee. It's very close, at least if you're listening to CNBC and Washington Post.
So the redistricting may be beneficial to the Republicans if this is close. We will see. There's no proof yet. I mentioned the poll as it relates to independents and as it relates to Trump supporters and where they will go. Because remember, the Democrats have been running not against their opposition. They're running against Trump. Trump's not on the ballot in any state this year. However, Trump policies are, and the Democrats are leaning very heavily on that. Harry Enton did a deep dive into the CNBC Washington Post poll to point out that issue. And this is troubling to Democrats. It's making me feel happy.
I think this is really important. Okay, Donald Trump's net approval rating with them is plus 66 points. But how much is the U.S. House margin? Republicans lead amongst these same voters by 87 points. In other words, there is a chunk of 2024 Trump voters who right now aren't so hot to trot on Donald Trump, but are still very much in the Republican camp. And
so they're very much in the Republican camp voting for Republicans. I'm still not resigned to the fact that we're going to lose the midterms. And if we could get the situation in Iran dealt with quicker and get the economy churning again, I think that would be good. Let's grab one quick call before we take a break. Joanna from Gloucester Township is calling. Hello, Joanna. Welcome to Talk Radio 1210. What's up?
Oh, thank you, Michael. As a former resident of South Carolina, I lived there for about 20 years. Moving back to New Jersey because of the illness of a family member about 10 years ago. The demographics of South Carolina were changing as I was leaving. Republican, yes, but a slew of Democrats moving into the state. I think you need a solid Republican candidate, and on my mind is Trey Gowdy, the TV guy, but he was a member of the House in the Carolinas for, I want to say, maybe close to 10 years. The only other choice you got down there, I think, is Ralph Norman, but he's more, I never liked him. He's more of a follower than a leader. We've got to retain that state. The loss of Lindsey Graham down there is tremendous.
Yeah, it is.
I have friends down there who it's just devastating.
It's a huge loss. It's a huge loss for your former state and for the country, and I think for Israel as well. Lindsey Graham, kind of a different character, but I really thought he was a solid legislator. Trey Gowdy, I'm not against Trey Gowdy. I think it's going to be hard to seduce him away from the money of TV because he's got a pretty cushy gig on Fox, but perhaps a higher calling will hit him. So well thought of.
That's what I'm hoping.
That's a really good call. I love this audience. You guys are always so smart. Well done.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Joanna, and God bless you for taking care of family. That's the most important thing to do. All right, I got to take a break. When we come back, we'll put a bow on the show. I just have too much stuff. We didn't get to everything. And a shout out to Guy Shiraki, who sent me the Lindsey Graham sister notice with the headline, "I'll take things that are not helpful for $1,000, please." Well done, Guy. It's Mike Opelka. It's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or find them online at retirereadyfg.com. And get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC. NPN number 2083768.
Hey, it's Nick Cale. Captivating and charismatic, the Range Rover Evoque is engineered for comfort at every turn. Combines contemporary luxury with peerless refinement. Discover this and more at 1.9% APR for 60 months or lease for $619 per month for 36 months. Drive one home today from Land Rover Westchester, Willow Grove, Wilmington, or Harrisburg.
2026 Range Rover Evoque S lease with $69.95 due at signing. Includes down payment, 0 security deposit, acquisition fee, and first month's payment. Tax and license excluded for well-qualified leasees. See dealer for details.
Employee pricing isn't just for employees anymore. For a limited time only this July, everyone saves at Closet Factory, Philadelphia. Schedule your free design consultation today at closetfactory.com. That's closetfactory.com.
Get ready for a new era of Penn State sports under new head coach Matt Campbell. Follow it all on the official home of Penn State football and basketball games. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Hi, this is Larry Steinhaus, and I want to let you know that I buy houses. I buy houses from people that may be a tired landlord, maybe somebody who's having trouble selling their house, or maybe someone who needs to sell their house quickly. Well, all you need to do is call 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I promise to answer the phone and help you with your situation. That's right, your house may be cluttered. It may be a house that a relative left you, or it may just be a house you just want to get rid of. 855-939-1137.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Now you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
It is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Mike Opelka with you. We have to get out of here in a couple of minutes. I'm sorry. I have so much fun when I'm with you people. Thank you for being here. It is truly an honor and a pleasure to work in my chosen field, and I could not be more grateful if I tried. And Matt DeSantis and Justin make life very easy and fun for me to do this work, so I thank all of you. Breaking news. Nancy Mace has said she will not be running for Lindsey Graham's seat. She will not be a candidate in the primary. And DeSantis, is there any truth to the rumor she will be starting an OnlyFans account?
I don't think that's true.
No?
No.
So that was my mind coming up with that? Is that what you're saying?
It wasn't based in fact.
I'm sorry. Shame on me. I'll be in confession. Hey, the World Cup wrapped up, and I, for one, enjoyed it. I loved seeing America on display. I loved watching the world catch on to the greatness of this country, and Donald Trump gets an attaboy. And one of the interesting things at the finals, President Trump was there like a boss, but he was asked about sports, and his philosophy was fascinating to me.
Why is sport so important in bringing truly the whole world together in this moment?
Just as universal. It's been something from, I guess, probably pretty much the beginning of time. Mm-hmm. It's a microcosm of life. You win, you lose, but with sports, you see it over a 2-hour period. And in life, you go a whole life before they realize whether or not you're a winner or a loser. It's a long time. And now it's just something very special. And, you know, I know a lot about sports. I know a lot about athletes. And with an athlete, generally speaking, you have to work and all of that. But bottom line, you either have it or you don't.
You either have it or you don't. I love that. It was the philosophical Trump talking about sports. But, you know, I think some people know before the end of their life whether they're losers or not. Yeah, the scorecard is there sometimes every single day. All right, I have to get out of here, make room for Rich Zeoli. And by the way, are you subscribing to Zeoli's podcast? You should, you must support our friend Rich Zeoli and share it with other people, please. And then followed, of course, by Jimmy Fallon. I will be back tomorrow, God willing, and we will take on every bit of the news, plus a few of the things we didn't get to today. Trust me, there's a lot more stupidity to share. Till next time, it's Mike Opelka reminding you, enjoy every sandwich. And testudo, my friends, testudo.
When it comes to our cars, those infotainment screens, turbos, advanced transmissions, and cameras are all great until they fail. And if your car is out of warranty, repairing them can cost thousands. I'm Danica Patrick. If your car is less than 20 years old, no matter the mileage, make sure you're covered for auto repair bills with an auto protection